with me because I'm going to do one of these things. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Not quite.
Nano says the technique helps people find their natural rhythm and encourages self-expression. The music varies as much as the movements. Students bounce, kick, and jump around to African, Latin, and rock music. They even climb on top of each other. One student says dance kinetics has benefited her more than she could have ever imagined. For an hour and 15 minutes, these students escape from their daily grind and leave feeling rejuvenated. In Northport, Alyssa Coleman, News 12, Long Island.
Be honest.
That's not.
Be honest. You kids were fucking begging for this, okay? You tuned in because you wanted to see African Dance Kinetics by the White Northports at 2:50 a.m. or whatever time it is where you are. Yes, you do, Valerie. Valerie, you know, I know what you want. I'm your dad. Good morning. Good morning, Fluffy Bunny. Listen, Melanie K, hello from Austin. Hello, hello, Waco. Hey, do they have this shit in Waco? Have you seen this before, Melanie? Have you seen that before in Waco? Listen, your dad just got home after doing a set at the comedy club, and it was okay. It was bad at the beginning because it turns out they were a filthy crowd. They were disgusting. They wanted the dirt. They didn't want the fluffy, Christ-like comedy. They wanted the devil. They wanted to bring the devil out in your dad, and they did. It ended well. It began like shit. But guess what? Dad comes home, and he says, kids, your dad had a rough night. It got better. But now your dad's got adrenaline, and he's got to get it out, and the only way to get it out is African Dance Kinetics, kids. Do they have this shit in Waco? Nope, not today. This is only going to make you stronger. This is for your own good. Thank God. I'm glad they don't have that in Waco, because Waco can't handle it. None of Texas can handle this shit.
The music varies as
You're a
much as
Russian
the
cat.
movements.
Dear God.
Students
Melody
bounce,
said
kick,
no
and jump
again.
around to African, Latin, and rock
Are you
music.
just saying no because you don't want this old lady to throw you a suck it?
Latin, and
Are you offended by the suck it? Kids, there's 15 of us. Do we need to take your boots off and give you a stinky foot massage? Don't touch your dad's feet. Oh, I've talked about this on the channel before. If I could chop my own feet off, I would. I fucking hate them. They tink. They're tinky. Feet are tinky, and if somebody puts their foot on my seat on an airplane, I'm gonna be on that TV show about people who do bad shit on airplanes because people put their feet on them. Whatever show that is. You know what I'm talking about? Did you guys ever watch that show where it's just people freaking out at the airport? You're blind, Tracy. Well, maybe you need to see this shit again. Suck it, suck it, suck it. Look at them. Where were the people of Northport Dance Kinetics when Rex was doing all of his deeds, and why could they not jump upon him and stop him? Shit, that is Waco, says C. Smith. Don't you fucking dare, C. Smith. Waco's is all boots and hunting. It's where the Cossacks backers live. Putin is your spirit animal. Well, by God, that's not very Waco of you, is it, Colors Flight? Hey, listen. Listen, Tracy? Tracy, are you a cat? Kids, this is going to make you stronger.
For an hour and 15
Go back
minutes,
to Tom
these
McDonald
escape from their daily grind
and tell me
and
you don't
feeling
pray for
rejuvenated.
Dance
In
Kinetics
Northport,
while you're
Alyssa
there.
Coleman, News 12, Long Island.
Listen, this wasn't up to me, kids. This was the Hugin. This was your God. Okay? Whatever the chosen one chooses is what he chooses. And I said, hey, Hugin, do you think the kids want to watch some African Dance Kinetics tonight? And he went, snorg. And this is what we have. All right? I could go forward a little. I don't think we've ever gone forward on this, have we? This is Center More Riches. Is that his name? Where are they?
Right
Is that George
Carol's
Costanza?
boss.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? Putin would the bitch slap us if he saw any of us doing this shit. Yes, he would banish us. He would take us out by the ears using a robot. He would drag us to the street. He would scream Red Scare tactics at us. And then he would say, okay, go back inside, bad kid. I'm just kidding. He would snorg at us and probably shoot us in the head. Putin's a fucking crazy asshole. Hey, listen, you're a potato and a cat? Did you guys hear that? Oh my God. By the way, if you hear someone screaming vulgarities, threatening anyone in the background, it's just Dad's boyfriend, fucking chock full of COVID adrenaline, playing Fortnite, cursing at his friends. And that noise that you just heard, it was not a balloon deflating. It was your dad's boyfriend's asshole. He ripped a huge fart. The biggest, loudest, it sounded like a fucking zipper on a fat girl's dress. It went bzzz. It zippered right out of his asshole. And I apologize because you're potato cats and you didn't deserve to hear that. Listen, the reason we're meeting today is because I need to determine who's a cat in here. If anything, to know how much litter to buy. Doesn't it look like George? Fucking, what was it I used to say about John Ray? Save some Festivus for the rest of us. This is George.
Carol,
it's John Ray's son.
They're having a lot of fun in the studio.
Hey, if John Ray can spread bullshit all over the world, I'm going to make shit up about him. This is his son. He owns a flower shop
Today. That's right.
His name is Art Vandelay.
Get away. You sit right by me in the news.
Valerie, I swear to Christ, you're a fucking cat. And if you don't calm down and act like a cat, well, I'm just going to tell the neighborhood you're a cat. You're not a cat either. God damn it, Fluffy.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard my question. Am I a slow person?
No, you're just a cat, sir. Okay. Your dad wanted to show, wrestling stuff. Should we put on Pattyanne Brown in the 1990s? Should we derail immediately? Your dad just wanted to show you some cool stuff and talk to you today anyway. Look, I am not a cat. That's us right there. Wow. What do you guys think is going to be on this?
Good morning, everyone. The time right now is 8 o'clock. I'm Pattyanne Brown.
Is this
Today
fun?
is Tuesday, November 10th, and making news this
Hey, it's the middle of the night. Why don't we watch Pattyanne Brown in the 1990s giving Long Island news?
This morning, a bail hearing is scheduled today for New York's highest-ranking judge.
What did he
Yesterday,
do?
the Court of Appeals refused to suspend Saul Wackler from the bench.
Wait,
he remains
what
under
did Saul
arrest in
do?
the psychiatric unit of Long Island Jewish Medical Center, charged with harassing and trying to extort money from an ex-girlfriend.
Wait, that's a lot to unpack in one sentence. You guys, I did not expect this. Well, hell. Well, hell. That's what Petty Mason says. I got to unpack this again. What the hell? Are they talking about Amy Fisher? Y'all remember her? Long Island Lolita? That was rude. Let's see.
Good morning, everyone. The time right now is 8 o'clock. I'm Pattyanne Brown. Today is Tuesday, November 10th. And making news this morning, a bail hearing is scheduled today for New York's highest-ranking judge. Yesterday, the Court of Appeals refused to suspend Saul Wackler from the bench. He remains under arrest in the psychiatric unit of Long Island Jewish Medical Center.
First of all, it's not a filter. You're a cat. Do you understand? You're a cat. Second of all, Long Island Jewish Medical Center psychiatric unit. That's where the party is, apparently. That's a lot to unpack.
Charged with harassing and trying to extort money from an ex.
So he's in the psychiatric center at the Long Island Jewish Medical Center, and he is calling his girlfriend to harass her? Sounds like a pretty cool guy.
Girlfriend.
No, this guy's a piece
Amy
of shit.
Fisher is calling her alleged lover, Joseph Buttafuoco, a liar. In a tabloid television interview yesterday,
Not Joey.
Fisher said Buttafuoco gave her a venereal disease and was behind the shooting of his wife, Mary Jo.
Well, I believe all of that.
Democratic Party is in New York City, and so far,
Oh shit! Look out! This is where
party.
bail reform
One
came
man
from. No,
Clinton
I'm
can
just kidding.
expect a ringing endorsement from.
Oh my God! Did you guys see Hulk Hogan tonight? Jesus Christ! Half the WWE was there. Everyone on that fucking stage got their ass handed to them by Stone Cold at one time or another. All of them, except one, have sex tapes. Most of them have been imprisoned for rape. And yet here he stands, ripping his shirt off and screaming like a madman. The same guy that was in court talking about how Hulk Hogan has a 10-inch penis, but Terry doesn't. Let's not forget that. Yeah, dude, VD. Dude, Joey Buttawipa was a dickhead. Not only did he blame everything on a teen, which she shouldn't have done that shit. She shouldn't have shot that lady. That was fucked up, right? Even as a child, I was like, this is fucked up. But that mullet-headed mongrel decided to blame it all on her. Ask his wife to come back. I didn't do it. I was just a lowly little mechanic, right? Wasn't that his deal? Turns out, you know, it reminded me of Tanya Harding's situation. How everybody wanted to put that shit on Tanya. But you know Jeff Gillooly was the one fucking doing that shit. And he was beating the hell out of her. Joey Buttawipo over here, same shit. Same shit. Piss ass mullet, little shitty hair. Gives her a VD. It is a hard throwback. That is crazy. When was his son in another DUI? Oh, Pattyanne. She's telling us the truth, dude.
Party is in New York City, and so far the emphasis has been on the.
You remember all these? I do too. Nope, not today.
Clinton can expect a ringing endorsement from.
I remember when Bill Clinton was like, "That ain't no cum." Hell no, I didn't do that. And then a few months later, he was like, "Yeah, it was some cum." It was fucking crazy. Yeah, this guy, Joey Buttawipo.
Governor Mario Cuomo, he'll take center
allegedly. No, not allegedly. These fuckers did it. I'm saying it. Sue me, Gillooly.
Plane crash at LaGuardia Airport has left at least 13
That's a car, y'all.
dead. U.S. Air Flight 405 was taking off for Cleveland at 9:30 last night.
Gillooly, that's so cute.
And slid into Flushing Bay. It's now known how many aboard
That's
US
hilarious.
Air Flight 405 died.
He probably
The
reads with his
question of
pinky
why
ring, right?
Remains unanswered.
Autopsy reports say drowning
That
killed
is a beast.
two-thirds, 18 of the 27 victims.
Hello, everybody. Oh, Patty with an eye.
I always know it's getting close to softball season with this.
So what's the difference between Patty with an I and Patty with a Y? Is there like a big personality jump? Where's Sarah? Where's our behavioral analyst? I have questions. My mom worked at the credit union Tanya and Jeff banked at. She said they both act entitled. Yeah, no. Tanya totally acted entitled. But that was because Tanya kind of deserved to be. Like, she was fucking talented. And people were treating her like trailer trash, remember? Imagine if you worked real fucking hard, busted your ass, and everybody made fun of your uniform and your blush. And I understand that movie was glamorized, but like, I went back into the low scent on that because I really loved Nancy Kerrigan briefly. And then I was like, But as a child, really, my hero was Oksana Bayul. And then guess what? She got a bunch of DWIs. What is it with ice skating and drinking and driving later? It's fucking wild. But yeah, I feel like Tanya she should have been entitled. She was fucking brilliant and she never got her fucking flowers. And then she married this abusive prick with a bad mustache. And then he's like, let me beat the shit out of you. And then let me plan all this shit with my buddy because we're going to take your money. I mean, I wonder if today that would have been considered sex trafficking, what he was doing with her, because he was taking all her endorsements, committing her to shit she couldn't handle. Oh, Dorothy Hamilton was the shit. Do you hear my boyfriend screaming about a sniper? It's because that's the Call of Duty Fortnite. That's what it does to you. It makes you nuts. Patty with an A is self-absorbed. With an I is self-absorbed. Patty with a Y is all questions. She's a fucking loose cannon or a joker. She's a joker card. She's wild. She's a wild card. Yeah, Dorothy ruled. I remember Scott Hamilton ruled. Gillooly. Jeff Gillooly. Gillololly. The way you say it is Gillooly, right? That's what they said on the news. Let's keep watching. Let's see what's going on here.
When's it going to be 50s? When is it going to be 60s?
Hey, do you guys remember baby Jessica being stuck in the well? That shit fucked me up as a kid.
It's going to be 70s.
That was crazy.
50s by Sunday. Sounds good. I can just about guarantee it.
I'm gonna watch a little bit of this old news for a minute.
Next time, try not to take it so seriously.
Wait for a few more kids to get in here.
Coming up next,
Then Dad's gonna tell you crazy stories.
Winner, meteorologist Norm Devoskin will be up at the map with
Norm Devoskin, that's a fucking handful.
There, and we will be again this year.
Looking forward to that. I can't believe it's coming
Is
already.
this just the
though.
beginning of the
We're
news?
talking Christmas, beginning of
It already
November.
feels like Christmas too. So.
That's it for this hour. I'm Carolyn Gussoff.
Democrat Tony Knowles, the former mayor.
Oh,
of
wow, it's just
Anchorage,
jumping
was the
everywhere.
winner by
I'm in Portland, so we had
528
Dorothy
votes.
Hamill and Tanya around a lot. Both
Surprising
malls had
claims
ice
in the
skating
O.J.
rinks.
Simpson murder case. The former football star is claiming that he was the victim of domestic violence.
Oh,
Worst fires in
please.
Suffolk County history is burning in the Rocky Point area.
Oh, shit.
Firefighters from every department in the
Oh,
county
this is
have been
crazy. They're
called
just giving
in.
you bam,
More
bam,
than
bam,
24
headline,
hours
headline. This is
after it
nice.
started, the fire is still going strong. Funeral services for Israel's Prime
I
Minister
have to
Yitzhak
feed my
Rabin
one-eyed
are
skin
underway.
cat. He's
Nearly
going
1 million
crazy. You have to
mourners have
constantly
filed
feed these
past
things. Are
Yitzhak
you talking about
Rabin's
your
flag-draped
penis?
coffin at the
Tell
Israeli
her.
Parliament building.
Tell your dad that.
Hit during a storm here on Long Island.
Did you say tit?
King Road in West Hampton.
Flag-draped
Say your
coffin
tit?
at the Israeli Parliament
That was
building.
weird.
Usually hardest hit during a storm here on
Hardest
Long Island.
hit. It
King
sounded like
Road
she
in
said
West
hard
Hampton.
as tit.
Newswell's Doug Geed is standing by at that location.
This is
with
hard
more
as
reports.
tit.
Doug.
Back to the news.
Carol, I can tell you it is very.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm
Good
Pattyanne
night.
Brown. A Tower Air 747 plane has skidded
Good
off
night.
a
Oh, you have a
runway at
hairless cat.
JFK
Excellent.
Airport.
Excellent.
The plane
I love
was
those. They're so
taking
cute.
off on its
Oh, I just realized I'm just playing news. I should just come on the screen. Hey, what's up, you guys? Back when the news was closer to the news. Yeah, Cronkite, right? With only one eye? So you literally have a one-eyed hairless cat? That sounds like a euphemism. I love that for you. You should name it euphemism. No, it already has a name, doesn't it? It's your cat. You're not a cat, though? I just want to be clear. Y'all, it's 4 a.m. on a work night, and I'm up watching Dad. Is this normal? LOL. Absolutely. Absolutely. Watch your father at 4 a.m. That's the next shirt. Hey, listen. Your dad got up fucking early as shit this morning. Everybody in the house is sick. Your dad created a barrier between the Hoogan and the boyfriend. Your dad fought with antibodies all day. Took a nice nap. Nice dad nap. Oh, it was such a good nap. Woke up. Did my show. Now I'm here. I'm probably even going to pass out a little bit early tonight. Like in the night instead of working a shift. You're looking beautiful today, Tracy. Thank you. This is my, oh shit, I have to tell jokes face. Oh shit. They did all look the same, didn't they? All the news ladies from back then. So in San Antonio growing up, we had Tangi Patton. But we also had a really badass lady named Mary Walker. And she was so fucking sick. She was like, she's kind of like Miss Pat meets Thea Vidal. And she had straight up, like the hair was bangs and then just bowl. Hard curve bowl. And she gave the news like no else. She told it like it was. She would always be like, if she didn't believe something. Fucking loved her. And we had a guy. Oh, thank you so much. We had a guy, you kids, named, I get so uncomfortable at compliments, but I do appreciate them. We had a guy named Steve Brown. He was the weather guy. And I remember there was some weird commercial or some shit going on with someone where it was a famous news thing where someone was like, so-and-so killed my dog. And I don't remember what. But it was wild because they did like a parody of it for the news. And Steve Brown had this commercial for the news that was like, if you want the best weather guy fucking ever, you need to check out Steve Brown because he'll tell you what's up. And then it cuts to him being like, it's hot outside. You better bring those dogs in so they don't overheat and die. And then this woman brings her dog in and she looks outside and it's boiling. And she's like, oh my God, Steve Brown saved my dog. And that became the shit. We would scream it at each other in school. Steve Brown saved my dog. And then there was a crazy old man named Bill Merriman. And he would just accost people in mall parking lots and run up to them and be like, sir, do you know that there is a voting blah, blah, blah? And he'd just scream some controversy at them. And then he'd turn to the camera and go, Bill Merriman wants to know. Shit was wild. Jenny, that's wild. Was he born that way or did something happen? Dude. Remember Aquanet hairspray? Super mega ultra hold. I do. What was the other one besides Aquanet? There was another one that was really crazy that we used to use. See, skating and gymnastics are quite shady manager guy magnets. Oh, hell yeah. And also because, have you noticed like a lot of the managers and stuff for skating and for gymnastics are like tiny little fucking pussy dudes, like little bitch ass dudes that anybody could whoop their ass. But it's like, it really makes you wonder, like, oh, is that why they choose tiny little bitty gymnasts? You know? Like, I'm not saying they're all super tiny, but they're really little. Figure skaters and gymnasts are teeny. Wrestlers, big as fuck. Figure skaters, really little bitty. Little bitty, little bitty. Do they pick them because it's easier to victimize them? Because it's like the only person they can fight? It's fucking crazy. By the way, how much did you love the judge in the Larry Nassar case? How she was like saucy as fuck. I love that judge. That was one of the best judges. Too bad Judge Bev can't be that judge. Hello, Holly. And Jenny. 8675309. Smells like grapes. Yes, Tresemme. Ugh, Tresemme was the best. So I mainly wanted to come on. Yeah, bad bitch. Colors had a brain tumor, still just the one eye, but he's doing amazing. Oh, do you want the Hugin to send his blessing? Because he will. I will rub the Hugin's belly tonight. And we will get rid of the tumor in your one-eyed cat. Listen, this cult's all about healing. I don't know if I can do it, but I know the Hugin can. He's a blessed child. Yes, that judge did rock. That judge rocked so much. Jenny, oh, thank God. I'm so glad for that. You guys, I had a mohawk. It took a bit to get it to stay up. Oh, shit. Send us pics. I'll put it on Dad's fridge. Jenny says, sure. Okay, I'll tell the Hugin tonight. I'll rub his belly when I'm putting his antibiotic ointment on his little hive. And I'll say, Hugin, we need your blessing. We got a one-eyed, skinless cat. It needs to get better. It's got a brain owie, and we need you to fix it. Lick it off, metaphorically speaking. Anyway, I figured, hey, let's go. Middle of the night, as soon as I get home. Because I got a little extra spunk. When you get off stage, you have all this adrenaline. And also, it's normally one of my work nights, but it's weird because he's home. And he's usually asleep right now. He usually has to work different hours than I. So imagine like one day, like your husband or partner is just at your work. Like, what you doing? It's fucking weird. I've been sneaking around doing like little tasks. Like, oh, I'll go meet with the kids later. But he's just been fortnighting like crazy because he has COVID. So now he's screaming vulgarities at his friends, threatening to bang their moms and shit. Because that's what you do when you play video games. It's like, I'm going to fuck your mom. I fucked your dad. Like, they just scream crazy shit at each other. Late night chats are the best. It's only 1 a.m. there. Oh, yes. Got some earlies, some squirrely earlies. Anyway, he's playing the Fortnite. It's actually kind of cool. He can be John Cena. But everyone can see him. So it makes no fucking sense. But anyway. Do you guys want to watch I'm Not a Cat? Like, we fucking may as well, right? Or do we want... Let's keep watching Patty a little bit more, huh? Get a couple more people in chat. I feel like we can pull these numbers. I feel like we could get it up to 50 tonight. Usually we pull 100 and shit when we're doing day shit. I say we, like I'm an operation. It's just me and the dog. I make the dog do all my paperwork. Oh, by the way, I have something to share with you guys. I'll share it again later, but I think I talked about it today. I might have talked about it yesterday too. So I told you guys how your dad has a friend who works in like various types of things like prints, and he makes actually it's him and his girlfriend. They make stickers, t-shirt prints. They do all kinds of shit. It's local. When I was working on when I was working on getting my mom set up with her birthday present last year, I reached out to him because your dad's mom, your grandma is really into I almost said BTK. What the fuck? BTS. What is it with like older moms? Like, no offense if you're into BTS, but what is it with like the demographic is like teen girls and then adults, but like older adults. It's fucking wild. My mom loves BTS. She like started learning Korean. She like got the channel for Korean soap operas, and she tells me everything about them. It's like when I used to love Hanson or New Kids. It's fucking wild. But anyway, she really loves BTS. So I hired this guy to make custom BTS prints for my mother to hang up in her office, to make all the other moms in the BTS group, or as we like to call them, the BTS hoes, that like to be like, oh, look at my tote. Look at, oh, that's Dad's boyfriend relieving himself of the sinus pressure. Did you guys hear that fart earlier he ripped? That was fucking crazy. That was a zipper you did. It sounded like a zipper of an old dress coming out of your asshole. Everybody heard. You got thousands of people on live right now. They all heard you rip ass. And then I put your Instagram handle on the bottom and I said, this is the man who did it. Yep. I told him you fizzled in your chones. He fizzled in his chones. He did. Listen, if he asks, don't tell him there's only 29 of us. Tell him there's thousands. Confront him. If you see Dad's boyfriend in public, confront him and say, don't put the crab claw in for. He has a crab claw pen. It scares the shit out of the Hugin. He'll it doesn't scare him. It just makes Hugin go crazy. Hugin never barks. And when he does, it's usually because Dad's boyfriend's fucking with him and they start playing. But when he does the crab claw pen, what did you get that from? An art exhibit at South by? What was that? Omega Mart. No, what was the thing called?
Omega Mart.
Wolf something?
Yellow Wolf.
Yellow Wolf? Meow. Oh, I was like, the rapper? Meow Wolf? Anyway, he got some artsy shit that's a crab claw, and he can go with this pen, and the dog just goes like he freaks out, but it's hilarious. Like he loves it. Like he'll jump and play. So cute. The Hugin's perfect. Anyway, long story short, Mom loved the BTS prints. So I was like, let's test some out. Let's do a test run. I think I showed you some of the early proofs. I have them all. I finally have them all. And I'm still figuring out the storefront thing. I think what I'm going to do, because here's the deal. The post-it, I already have a postage system that works for me because I sell bulk shit on eBay. So I get a discount. But all the storefronts want you to go with their way. And it just makes no fucking sense. And then it takes money out to send it in addition to a fee when it's like, I could just send it with my shit, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to do that without them taking everything so I can earn back the money that I paid for them. So here's what I'm thinking. But I also want to make cool art. So I designed some stuff. And I get the proofs back for you. So check it out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably do one of these for $10 and you get 6 prints. I might, if one more comes back, then we might do 7. But they're just 4x6s of and they're glossy prints of shit like this. It's essentially like a postcard, but it's glossy and you can frame it or you can use it to decorate. And the idea came from, apparently people are doing this with BTS and all this shit. People make these print packs and sticker packs and stuff. So I was like, well, I can do stickers and prints. That'll be fun. This one says, I am not the cat. I am not the cat. This is the Hugin. It says, can you don't. It's got a little frame around it. Now, this one's one of my personal favorites. It's hard to see in the camera because it's not focusing. It says, let's get stoopy. And you can frame the frame with a scrunchie. I meant to say scrunchums. I'm going to save the best for last. This is one of my personal favorites. This is Bless Your Heart. And it is the weird potato with the scrunchie and the clearly Canadian. That's fun, right? It's really not blurry. It's actually all very high quality, and it's yellow. I need a new camera. And this is the best, I think. May Rhoda be with you with Pabst. If you know, you know. So, I'm getting these I want to get these photo album or from the 80s and the 90s how there were these photo envelopes that you would get when you got film developed. I want to get some custom ones of those to put them in. But I think until then, I'm just going to order these kind of fancy envelopes. But what I was thinking was doing $10 for a set of the photo prints. And they're glossy and I think I can get mad. So yeah, what do you guys think? What are your favorites? I'll show you again. Oh my God, that was a burp. May Rhoda be with you. Oh, it's better if I do it that way. And it goes from green to blue on this one. Why is this camera so shitty? This is Bless Your Heart Potato with the scrunchums and the Clearly Canadian. And it's yellow. It's actually better when I do it that way. Oh shit, there you go. And then there's Let's Get Snoopy. All right. And then there's a Hoogan saying, "Can you don't?" with a Vietnam flashback. And that one's just funny. And this one is, and that actually might be the shitty proof. I think the good proof doesn't actually have a border. And then this is Big Fucking Bird. And you got the White Claw. And then you got the Murder Goose with another scrunchie. Which ones are your favorites? Do you hate them? Tell me you hate them. Throw them at me and say, "Dad, I don't fucking want this shit. Stay out of my room." Call me names and tell me that I'll never understand. Oh, no. Oh, I'm glad he graduated. Congratulations to your son. Oh, I know what you meant about the prank. Took me a while to catch on. Shame I wasn't there. I wish I had been. What prank? You guys pulled a prank. I pulled a prank. What is a BTS? It's these little Korean boys that dance really good, and now they're in the army. They dance and sing. And they have an album called Butter. My mom really likes it, and it's just a big stick of butter. And then, are you taking the Hugin? Oh, blessed is the king. They're going to bed. Anyway, they're a band, and they sing a bunch of songs, and my mom really likes them. And a lot of moms there's like a mom group for BTS. It's fucking wild. Yeah, New Kids rules. Oh, shit. I need to catch up. Oh, there's 32. Listen, Dad's boyfriend farted. Ha 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 ha. Your partners are crying. Yeah, he just fucking rips ass. He'll come over here to rip ass and then leave. He's fucking crazy. Yeah, K-pop. My mom's really into K-pop. Did you get my pet photo? I think I did. I got a bunch of pet photos, and I just bulk put them in the Dad's fridge folder. And I'm gonna go through them and label them with y'all's names and do a slideshow for you. It's gonna be cool. Jenny on boys. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and that teen girl shit ain't no joke. It's not. They don't fuck around. They have a thing called the BTS Army. They have an army. They have prepared for war. They are ready. They're strapped. They'll pull up. My oldest and one twin girls. What about yours? Ooh, we're talking about kids now. Hello, Dad and Chad. I finally caught alive again. Hello, Cindy. Nice to have you. I love you guys. I'm gonna hurry up and get to the bottom. Yes, Rhoda. Do you remember Rhoda? She was the best. She has her own YouTube channel. I want to hype her up. I want to praise her. They are really cool. Love the potato. Awesome. Excellent. If you have any suggestions, boys are easier than those. I think $10 is fair too, because it's 5 or 6 prints. And then it's high. You pay extra for the higher quality, like the resolution or whatever. And they did a little touch up on some of them because your dad's not the best at graphic design. But yeah, the frame scrunchie is my favorite. I absolutely love that. Thank you. And I think because your dad likes to come up with fun merch. I really want to do the cassette. And by the way, I have the cassettes. They're gold and they're rose gold and they look fucking sick. Let me see if I have. Oh no, that one's got a label on it. Well, I've got some that I will show you. I'm gonna no, I want to show you this one is a different batch than I bought. So that one's a little lighter, but I have gold and rose gold cassettes, and I want to do a thing where it's excuse me, not like the apology line, but maybe just a line where you guys can call in and say whatever you want at random, anonymous, and then make an apology line style compilation on a cassette and sell it as merch. I just think that would be super cool, like a tribute. So I do have a lot of cassettes that I've ordered, and they're very cool and they're very crazy colored, and they're gold and rose gold. And yeah, I have actually a lot of bulk equipment for not uploading, I guess that's not the word, for recording and reprinting cassette CDs, things like that, but specifically cassettes in bulk. And I have a buddy that actually runs a business, Ben Buck, doing that. And yeah, I think that would be sick. So I want to have like kind of unique stuff that's cool merch for you guys to have as like art, and I don't know, just something to, if you like the channel. And so I was thinking, like, with these, like, look at that big fucking bird. There you go. So with these, I think because they're 4x6s, which is, I'm so 90s. I'm so stuck in the 90s. That was like the average. And I could choose between Canon, Kodak, and I could get vintage ones. And I got to see them all on the different ones. I think the vintage Canon are the best because they're glossy, but I think the Kodak was pretty cool too. The matte ones are like a Pentax, like that's how old they are. And basically getting those inside, if you remember, they used to come in like a photo folder and it would have like the negatives in it. And I think that would be so cool. Just to make it look like retro. I don't know. Your dad had fun doing art. I can't decide. I think the bird one. Okay, you like the bird one? I like the big fucking bird. I also have another one that I'm waiting on approve of, and it's like the teal one. And I actually got some of them last week and sent them. I sent some of these, the OG proofs, to you guys who won the first round of contests. So some of you already have versions of these that I'd been working on. And I was like, let's send them the prototype. Blessed is the king. He is. What a good dog. He's got big old fat belly. And we've been like putting him on a little Hugin diet. And his belly's getting smaller. He'd been on one, but it was very slow paced. And now that we have him on like the food that's not going to fuck with him, and we have him on a better schedule for eating. Because before, like, we were like, okay, let's feed him according to his weight when we got him, but take off like 5 pounds just because we don't think he's supposed to be as big as he was when we got him. We got him down a little bit, 5 pounds, and he gained back 4. Good job, Hugin. You're just like your mom. But yeah, then after talking to the vet and shit, it was like, no, feed him for a 30-pound dog. And it's like, oh, okay. And now he's starting to get them, not gains, losses, but in a good way. And thank you, Wendy. My 4-year-old told my husband he was a big fucking bird. My husband got pissed. Well, that sounds like something a big fucking bird would do, is get pissed. Tell him not to be such a bird. Hello, Bandit's World. Is that Bandit? I can't stand it. He's so cute, dude. Oh, look at that Bandit. Look at that little Bandit. He can steal my heart any day. You crashed a scooter. Cindy, you crashed a scooter. Bitch, why? Are you okay? Where were you scooting to? Don't be disappointed in yourself. Be disappointed in the scooter. Should have been able to allow you to tumble without harming you. Have you heard about the gay furry hacker group? Which one? Got him. No, I'm sure. I mean, I just assumed almost all hacker groups were full gay furries, but what? What'd they do? Who'd they hack? Good morning, Dad and siblings. Denmark. Excellent. Wait, Denmark? That's far away. How cold is it? Is it cold? It sounds cold. Is that where they filmed Let the Right One In, the OG one, the good one, the foreign one? Because that would fucking rocked. I would send them like a postcard to my granddaughter, wait for her to call me and say, Gaga, what is this shit? Gaga, are you a big fucking bird? That's another thing is I wanted the other side to have postcard print. But in order to do that, you can't get the glossy. You have to get the matte. And then it's like, oh, but they're not as cool looking. And they like, I don't know, they come back like a light tinted color. They're not as white. And like, they don't look as clean for like in a frame. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like a sepia tone. Like, do you remember when trading cards, I'm thinking wrestling cards, but I'm sure it's the same for like all the Fleer ones. They were like a grayish color on the back, like a cardboard color, and it throws off the whole vibe. And that's all they had. I didn't want to like, and if you want to order something totally new, you have to get 1,000, and that's really expensive. And they have to special order. It takes so long. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I could probably find a way to bulk take. I'll figure it out. I would like to make them eventually into postcards, but they have to be the right material. I have to find someone who can do that. Cornwall, UK. Hey, you just woke up. Hello, over the pond siblings. I'm so excited because when we go on in the middle of the night. First of all, it's totally my atmosphere, my vibe. This is when your dad does his best work because the whole world is sleeping and noises and lawnmowers and hoogans and farts cannot interrupt him. He can have full focus. So when I am out of work, like I'm done with my work, and when I'm done with my schooling and I have no homework, it's a night off. So what does your dad do? Your dad goes live. And I get to talk to you guys in the middle of the night. It's fucking cool because it's usually people from across the pond. Hello, Azen. Or is it Azen? Hello, Holly. Yes, do tell, Fluffy. That's Bandit. He's my service baby. Ooh. I love, first of all, service dogs. So brilliant. So unique. So smart. They're like the kid that gets pushed up a grade because they're smart with dogs. I've talked at length about how I wanted the Hugin to be a cadaver dog, but he'd just eat the bones. He wouldn't bring him back to me. He'd end up eating a dead person, and then I'd look like a dick. He just loves bones. Good morning, Holly. Oh my God, I should not start from the start. Just do it, Ozzy. Just do it. You get to hear Dad's boyfriend fart. I dumped it more than crashed it. Didn't hurt the scooter, but I got pretty beat up. LOL. Were you in Manhattan? Or were you in, what is it, Norfolk? Were you in Dundalk? Where were you on the scooter? Are you okay? Good evening. Hack the company that wrote Project 25. Bring up the text. They're hilarious. Oh, amazing. Okay. I'm going to have to peep them in advance, though, because, if it's furries, God knows what they say. Normally, I wouldn't care, but if it gets political too much, it's like, well, we got to be careful because I don't want a fatwa on your dad. Come on now. Search the Heritage Foundation Gay Furry Hackers. I'm already thinking I'm going to love it, though, whatever it is. Thank you, Deb. Oh, my God. No, I went to the start. What's wrong with the start? It's a good place to start. The Furry Gay Hackers. I mean, we might have to look it up live. How far should I skip to? Shit, when was Dad's fart? Probably 20 minutes ago? Who's torturing you? My Boston Terrier is on the short bus. Nowhere near service dog material. Yeah, my Boston Terrier, dude. The Hoogan's crazy. He farted in my face the other day and I cried. My eyes watered. Like I was upset. I almost vomited. I had to run out of the room. He loves to do that. He loves to flip. Like he'll be up here and I'll be holding him. He'll be like he snores so loud. And I'll be holding him at night and then I fall asleep and then I wake up and I'm doing this again and I open my eyes and it's his asshole. That's not fun. It usually is ripping wind. Right? I'm going to get pink eye on my LASIK and they're going to have to pluck my eyes out because of Hoogan's asshole. There's no way I can't get some kind of a disease or a fungal infection from his constantly farting in my eyes. I think they're starting to naturally cross. 2 times speed and get through quickly. You can do it. Just move forward past the African dance kinetics. Don't worry, it'll be fine. The farts are so bad, and so are hairless cats. I have a huge air purifier because of them. Let me talk to you about something, Colors Flight. I'm obsessed with hairless cats because I'm allergic and I've always wanted one. I did have a cat growing up named Biscuit. It lived to be 20 goddamn years old. It was part munchkin. It was a feral munchkin cat when we got it. It was a kitten, but it never grew into its head. Like its body got longer and bigger, but its little head and its little paws stayed the same. I love that cat my whole life till I went to college. And then I discovered that while I was treated as Bubble Girl my entire life, while I had horrific allergies my entire life, the first night in the dorm, I slept great. I no longer had bright red eyes. I could breathe out of my snoot. And my chest no longer made rolling sounds. Turns out, deathly allergic to cats. Had no idea. That thing slept on my fucking face every night. Not by choice. I didn't just go bloop every night, but it did do that to me as I slept, and I loved it because it was my little precious baby Biscuit. My little bitch kid. She was the best cat. She was so bitchy. I loved her so much. But yeah, she's fucking dead now, but I loved her so much, and she was just the fluffiest little, sweetest little kitten. And the thing is super allergic, so I was like, man, I want a hairless cat so bad. My friend Lulu got one, It is the sassiest cat. It poses like a nude old man. It is disturbing the way its body looks, and yet so cute. It makes me feel better about my body. And I love that cat. And I've never met it. I just see the pictures of it. But it's making me think hairless cats are the way to go. And I wonder how a Hugin would react. Knowing that you have a Hugin with a hairless cat, holy shit. Do you have videos of them interacting? Does the Hugin ever fart on the cat? And does the cat ever ride the Hugin? Very curious. Yeah, and also he snorgs, he runs into things. He's a goof. He will run in circles randomly with toys. And anytime a man comes into the house, he eats a treat. Or he pulls out a treat to show it off or brings the man a toy. If it's a woman, he goes limp, wiggles his little butt, and then begs for puppy kisses. He likes to lick knees constantly, and he's here crying. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back and play Pattyanne Brown while I walk the Hugin, and then I'll bring him back to say hi to you guys, and he will bless you. Here we go. Hugin, hold on. Hold on. I'll be right there. Oh, you're so funny.
Coming up next, will the start of the work week be a weather winner? Meteorologist Norm DeVoskin will be up at the map with the forecast.
We'll have live coverage. We're always there, and we will be again this year.
Looking forward to that. I can't believe it's coming already, though.
Oh, it is.
Already talking Christmas, beginning
It
in
already
November.
feels like Christmas too. So.
That's it for this hour. I'm Carolyn Gussoff.
Democrat Tony Knowles, the former mayor of Anchorage, is the winner by 528 votes. More surprising claims in the O.J. Simpson murder case. The former football star is claiming that he was the victim of domestic violence. The worst fires in Suffolk County history is burning in the Rocky Point area. Firefighters from every department in the county have been called in. More than 24 hours after it started, the fire is still going strong. Funeral services for Israel's Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin are underway. Nearly 1 million mourners have filed past Yitzhak Rabin's flag-draped coffin at the Israeli Parliament building.
Usually hardest hit during a storm here on Long Island is Dune Road in West Hampton Dunes.
News 12's Doug Geed is standing by at that location with a report for us. Doug.
Okay, Pattyanne, Carol, I can tell you it is very...
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pattyanne Brown. A Tower Air 747 plane has skidded off a runway at JFK Airport. The plane was taking off on its way to Miami. It was Flight 41. Welcome, Mr. Speaker.
Pattyanne, it's good to be with you.
You're having this conflict with President Clinton concerning the not wanting to raise the debt ceiling.
From News 12, this is Reporter Roundtable.
Apparently, there have been a total of 50 computer breakdowns in the air traffic control computers over the past 2 years nationwide. That's pretty frightening.
Oh, it is, but they're designing a new system that's supposed to go online in 1998, maybe 1999.
Right.
24 hours, every day. Long Island's own news network. This is News 12, Long Island. Now, the morning edition.
A construction site accident in Valley Stream has deadly results. Good morning, I'm Pattyanne Brown.
And I'm Matt Jablow.
There apparently was warning from air traffic controllers before Tuesday's deadly mid-air collision in India.
And there's word tonight that the famous Twin Towers may be closed for a long time. News 12's Pattyanne Brown standing by now in New York City at police headquarters. Pattyanne?
Melba Scott, I'm at One Police Plaza where the press has just been briefed on the latest in the investigation into who planted the bomb that caused Friday's deadly explosion at the World Trade Center. It was the 5:33 train coming out of Penn Station in the height of rush hour, a full train. The train was traveling along the tracks when apparently, according to what witnesses have told police, a man on the train opened fire. State Senator George Pataki will soon be Governor George Pataki, the first Republican governor of New York State in 20 years. Long Island's religious leaders are hoping their visit here strengthened lawmakers' resolve to end what they call the Bosnian Holocaust. In Washington, D.C., Pattyanne Brown, News 12, Long Island. It was at about 1:45 this afternoon. Riders got on a number 4 subway train headed from Manhattan to Brooklyn when suddenly a device went off. Police are describing it as an incendiary device.
News 12's Pattyanne Brown toward the ruins left by the nor'easter.
This is what Dune Road used to look like. Shrubs, dune grass, houses with yards. Now it's all dune and no road.
These new breaches come as no surprise to residents and scientists who say they've been predicting this would happen for years.
There were 229 people on board the plane. There are no survivors found so far. The Coast Guard is looking for survivors as we speak, and they're
Jesus, what a bummer. And also, I see you guys talking about Pattyanne in the chat. Doesn't it look like she's a replicant? Are these both is everyone Pattyanne? I'm gonna scroll up. Dad, you have me rolling. I can leave my food alone with him and he won't eat it unless I tell him he can. Ooh, what a good boy. The Hugin will do the same, although he has snuck a fry in the past. But he will wait and he will moan and he will stare at you with baby dog eyes. And it's like, just eat it, Hugin. Thanks for the heads up. I was thinking about getting one. Yes, get a Hugin. It's not too political. The guy just gets really angry with them and calls them degenerates and other names. And their response is fun. Okay. I like a good heated roast fest. I have 8 cats. Fucking shit. Colors? That's a lot of cats. Please tell me you're not in a 1-bedroom apartment. As someone who used to clean for hoarders with a ton of cats, it really worries me. The ammonia is so bad for your chest. Please tell me you have room for the cats to run and spray a larger area than a smaller one. Or are they good little boys and girls and they don't spray your things? He doesn't think he's a cat. He's not a cat. He is not a cat. He thinks he's a human and even has clothes. Holy shit. Please send me pictures of your cat that's not a cat in his clothes. Hazen, you're laughing at the cat. I wanted a hairless dog. I'd have a mini sausage dog now. Well, you may as well get a fucking Hugin. Goddamn. Their hair falls out everywhere, but somehow they keep it. It makes no sense. They love each other. That's good. I want my Hugin to love a kitty. Every time, what are you doing down there? He's snorking. Every time he tries to love on a kitty, the kitties attack him. But he loves kitties. He's very sweet. Did you taste it? Hugin needs a scrunchie on his tail, a potato. Say no more. My 4-year-old pit bull sleeps in bed with me. When he farts, he looks really guilty. This other thing, Hugin doesn't look guilty at all. If anything, his ass whistles in my face and he just smiles. He's a big smiler. You guys have seen it before. He smiles. He smiles all the time. He's very smiley. In fact, I wonder if I can catch the Hugin shortly. If I can tame the Hugin and get him upon my lap, he will say hello to you. That'll get the viewers in here. Let's string him along with a Hugin. Wow, how many Pattyannes are there? I think you're tripping and I think I'm tripping. There looks like multiple Pattyannes. Yeah, how many? Yeah, the first is a clone. This is a sentient Pattyanne and this is a cardboard Pattyanne. Where's Tiff? Oh, hello, Tiff. How are you doing? We looked earlier today. I don't know if you were in the chat. I don't recall seeing you there at the time, but we saw your order came in and I showed it to everybody. Your order for another viewer. She sent it to me and she said, wow, look at this. It is beautiful. And she sent like the unboxing, like, you know, all the stuff that you sent her from your shop, which, by the way, let's pimp it now. Minx and Maven, use code Oblivious25 for 25% off your sister Tiff's shop. Anyway, we showed it to everybody, and I love the polka dot paper. I love the packaging. It's a very clean, beautiful packaging situation. The marketing is incredible. I love good marketing. I love good branding. You did it. All around, great job. Very happy to see. The allergies. My house is super clean. Oh my God. Super clean with that many cats. I'm proud of you. You might have risen up in ranks here in the cult to one of Dad's top kids. Anyone who can keep a house super clean with that many cats has my fucking respect. Bad news, Dad. Hairless cats will still fuck up. Of course they will. It's a saliva. I don't think a cat's ever licked me beyond more than once, though, Holly. Are they licking me in my sleep? Oh, no. Panda has shoes for the heat and cold. Hugin, he refuses shoes. He will eat them. And he likes to walk on coals, on hot coals. He'll go lay down in the hottest spot in the sun and just hoog. He just loves it. He's a baked potato to the max. If we lived near a beach, I have no doubt he would tan every day. There's only 2 that stay inside all the time and 2 outside and 2 are kittens. Oh no, dumping kittens is so mean. Fuck them. Dugan will curse them for you. Not the kittens, the people who dumped them. I was not in the chat earlier. Tiff. Let's look at it now. Do you guys want to see your sister Tiff's wares? It's amazing. It is amazing. Yeah, nobody works in this fucking town. What is that from? Oh, God, that's so funny. What did Mrs. Garbage Brain ask? Let's see. Why is everyone awake right now? I'm at work in Ireland. Well, I'm awake because your dad usually... By the way, I'm your dad. Hello. You're a good child, and I love you. Your dad usually works overnight, so this is like my afternoon. But your dad got up really early this morning to take care of some business. And then your dad took a big nap. And then your dad went and did a comedy show. And now your dad's awake. Why are you awake? Oh, yeah, you're at work in Ireland. Home of the potatoes. I'm so sorry. I am so fucking sorry. I did not mean to say that, but you do have good potatoes. I've heard. The cat distribution system is real. I love you too, Daddy. Oh, I love it. Daddy. Oh my God. That is such a fucking funny picture. It looks like Pee-wee. Is that Pee-wee? A disco nap. What is that? I like that phrase. That sounds fun. Also, watched Detroit Rock City recently. They mentioned disco's fucking dead in that. And I just thought it was so funny because it's like, none of this music's going to die, man. It's going to live on. But disco really, they said that they're like 10 years from now, Kiss is, or they say one day Kiss is going to make a disco song. And they did. True. It's such a good movie. It is Pee-wee. I thought so. That's a funny guy. My friend was the chair for Halloween. Jerry, is that his name? I woke up to let the pups out. Checked if you were alive. There you were. It was Kismet. You fucking knew, Curious Wendy. Maybe Curious Wendy is a psychic. You're going to be the first person that actually convinced me psychics are real. Probably to be someone who isn't a psychic at all, but I'm going to insist they are. You're not Irish. You're from Boston, but I've lived in Ireland since 2017. I mean, that's fucking Irish. Miss Garbage Brain, that's fucking Irish. I mean, if you live in Boston and move to Ireland, you're still Bostish or Irish or what? Irish? Your dad's maybe your dad's a little tired. Yeah, no. Technically, you're fucking Irish. Come on. You lived in Boston. Do you listen to New Kids on the Block? Because I'll solidify it. You guys, it did turn into electronica. That's a good point. Hugin will not be picked up right now. He's refusing. What's up with Pattyanne? What was
getting assistance from other organizations, including the Suffolk Police as well. At this point, we do have 32 bodies recovered from the scene. The plane that was being flown, as Scott mentioned, an older one, 747-100, which are no longer being made. We're now making 747.
Sawbone Sumter is so fucking funny. Who the fuck is that? Did one of you change your name again? That is so. Sawbone Sumter is so goddamn funny to me. And I knew a bitch named Bonesaw once. Bonesaw Sumter is a good name too. Oh yeah, we were gonna look at your sister Tiff's shop. I think I pulled that up. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me show you guys what your sister Tiffany is gonna give you if you go to Minx and Maven and buy something from her. Would she even, man? I feel terrible. I was going back and reading emails again because some people were saying like, oh no, I sent you this one that said this. And I was like, did it? Or like people will be like, oh, I sent you an animal. And then I'm like, which animal? And they'll describe it. Now I'm looking for a fucking black sheepdog with named Hyde, or whatever. And I'm looking through my emails. And yeah, one of the, I found Tiff's and it was like one of the first ones. And she very kindly was like, pick something out in the store. And I just totally fucking forgot. And today looking at this, I was like, oh shit. I was too amazed by the mahjong. I didn't mean to be rude, Tiff. I do love your wares. Let's pull this up so everybody can see. It's really cool. This is good shit. I want everyone to see the packaging. Hold on, I'm pulling them up right now. This is so great. This is somebody ordered from your sister Tiffany. And she sent it to me to be like, I just wanted you to know. I went to Meeks and Maven and I used the code and it worked and everything was beautiful. And this is what it looked like. And I just love it so much. And I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. I have to show this. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to show it to you guys because I love good branding. I absolutely love good branding so much. Okay. Let's go to the window. On the window. Okay. Right here. Oh my God. Again? They can hear it all. That was a burp, not a fart. He is not a cat. So this is the packaging your sister Tiff mails stuff out in. Gorgeous. Cute flowers. Look at this. Cute. 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 Look at all this. Look at the polka dots. I absolutely love it. That looks like Burberry. But I can't see it all. I'm just guessing. Tell me, is it Burberry? I love Burberry. Okay. Fancy shit. Now, can you see this? Let me pull the... Dang it, I have to reshare it every time. This is crazy. Window. Oh, entire screen. Let's just do that. There we go. Okay. This is the jewelry. Let's go. Let's zoom in. Let's peep what Tiff makes. Look at this. Look at that. What is that? Jade? Turquoise? Turquoise? I love this. This is gorgeous. Look at that good branding. Look at that lovely tag. I love it. Are you okay? Oh, he's not feeling good. Do you need me to go get you some Gatorade? Okay. Let me know if you need anything. Oh, COVID's a bitch. Don't get it, you guys. Don't get it. Look at this. Your sister Tiff is so talented. Look at these earrings. These are gorgeous. That purple is beautiful. Look at this. Handcrafted. Oblivious approved. Gorgeous, right? So your sister Tiff, she's saying if you use the code Oblivious25, you get 25% off. And the website is down there below. And you guys can go in there and you can get that right now. Or when you wish. Or when you wish. Let me see. Let's peep this. Also, look at that. What is that? That is so cute. Is that for... Where do you even get a box like that, first of all? Second of all, amazing box. Third of all, oh my God. Oh my God. I love the picnic table plaid situation. Buffalo plaid. But is that what it is? Buffalo plaid, right? White and black. Very good. Better than the Teen Moms. I don't know if you've ever bought anything from the Teen Moms before. But goddamn. Terrible, terrible branding. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Look, she even wrote a little note. That's the kind of quality you get from Minx and Maven. Your sister Tiff. Isn't that cool? It's scrolling across the bottom. Isn't it nice? We get to... Here's the thing. If you guys buy shit from each other, whether I pimp it on the channel or not, send it to me. I'll show pictures. If you buy something from someone, if you go to a sandwich place and get a shitty sandwich and want me to show that to everyone and how shitty the sandwich was, I will do that too. As long as it's honest reviews. If there's a goddamn piece of a rubber tire in your rice, show me. I saw NKOTB when I was 19. Jordan was my fave. He was my fave too, Curious Wendy. We are bonded. I'm up because it's not even 9 p.m. here in New Zealand. It's winter cold and raining, so I want to be a hot boiled potato. Ooh. Got to be careful when you're a boiled potato, though, because then someone can squish you and you can be a mashed potato. Also very jealous of winter cold. Wait, how's it winter there? What? Are you saying it's cold like winter? Or is it New Zealand winter? So jealous. I knew a girl named Chainsaw, and her girlfriend's name was Dollmaker. Holy shit, Portland is scary. That is crazy. I don't ever want to meet anyone named Dollmaker. That sounds like a horror person. Zulu Queen. I will. I promise I will. I will go look. Maybe I'll let Dad's boyfriend pick it out. He can go through the site. Ooh, red light therapy. Barking spiders, colors flight. You're gonna give me fucking nightmares. Oh, you guys are so funny. Here's what I'm gonna do. I need to check on the health and wellness of your dad's boyfriend and the Royal Mighty Hugin. But real quick, I do want to put on. We'll just let you guys watch a little more of Pattyanne. I'll be right back.
Tell us, having been at the scene this morning.
Well, as tragic as it is, it was also very uplifting to see that, for instance, the Red Cross volunteers that are out there, and to see the Air National Guard, to see the Coast Guard, to see everyone pitching in.
Unfortunately, some people criticize the Brady Bunch for having portrayed an unrealistic family. What do you think of that criticism?
I say, bah, humbug.
So do I, but anyway.
You know, it's a stupid kind of criticism, I think, because when I was growing up, you know, the youngest of 10 children in a very poor family, I didn't want to see what I was living. I wanted to see something that was a little better.
Columbia will carry 7 astronauts who will spend an extra long 16 days conducting experiments in space. A lot of us are looking towards space these days with the comet up there.
Yeah, if you have to go and see it again. You haven't seen it in a while.
I did see it once and it was great.
Well, it's much better now.
Wow.
In the evening, northwest sky, you can't miss it. It looks like a comet. Let's look at the satellite view.
Barbie and Ken promote an unrealistic body image.
Now, any day now, they're going to come out with a politically correct Barbie doll who's short and plump, and they'll have a Ken with a bit of a beer belly.
I'll be first online. 7:56 is the time.
Stay tuned. We have a lot more News 12 coming right up.
Brought up and by management. 2.
Suffolk Police believe they solved a 5-year-old murder.
Real time, 1 minute. 10, 9, 8, and 7, 6, 5.
Yo, we're gonna keep going with that Pattyanne drip till we get kicked off. I'll get kicked off YouTube for Pattyanne. Fuck it. Wait, what? LL Cool J is your kid's future stepdad? For real? I mean, I don't put it past any of you guys. One of y'all was the neighbor of Junkyard Dog. Fantastic wrestler. The stories you guys come up with. Wait, what? What's HW Cool J? His wife loves Cool James. Oh my God. Your dad's boyfriend is goofy as hell when he's on the COVID. It's inoculated his brain. You sell rose quartz hearts on Etsy? PA Native and Nature Girl, send it to me. Here, I'm gonna put my banner up here. That's got my email and shit. And actually, I was gonna show you guys this anyway, because listen, my cousin, she has had an Etsy store forever, and it is so fucking good. And she does a lot of designs for me for music and comedy stuff. And it just never occurred to me, oh my God, I should pimp her. You know, because she's family. But I mean metaphorically. But anyway, she's incredibly talented. And it occurred to me, like, I should show you guys her store because, first of all, her little sweet baby children, her dog, I'm the godmother to her kids, dude. At least one of them for sure. I don't know about the other one. But let me show you. She's got this fucking great store. And I was like, dude, can I put it on my site? And she was like, yeah, totally. And I cannot wait. It's JanelleFromHell.com. And I'll put a link in the bottom. Look at what she made. She made chicken nugget earrings. She gave me a chicken nugget magnet once. It looks like a real chicken nugget. Look at this stuff. She makes polymer clay stuff. And like, it's a whole vibe. And she has made some incredible shit, you guys. I think that's the current stuff. She's got Shrek is Love here. Look at these. And they're all hand custom made. This is like a tooth charms. Look at these Pee-wees. Pee-wee Cupies. I didn't even know she had these. Holy shit. Dad's boyfriend's going to freak out. He loves Pee-wee. Look at that. Isn't that sick? She's so talented. Anyway, she makes them and she sells them on this website. It's called JanelleFromHell.com. It's not just that. Like, this is hilarious. She makes crushed up cigarette earrings. What the fuck? I'm so jealous. I want these so bad. I need to tell her. Aren't those sick? Like, I get it. If you hate cigarettes, fine. But if you smoke them, that's badass. But yeah, this is the type of stuff she makes. And I'm super proud of her. She makes customs. You can literally send her, like, you know, your uncle or something. This one's sick. What is it? The Little Shop of Horrors. She makes those. Isn't that cool? And it looks all disconnected, but it's not. It's connected. They're very durable. But yeah, like I said, we got a chicken nugget magnet. And look, the chairs. I forgot she made the chairs. She's very punk. And she's very fucking cool. She has dope hair. She has amazing tattoos. She has a lot of really great reviews. I've never seen someone get pissed. Everybody loves her shit. Look at that, 5 stars. She rules. And she also has these on her Instagram. But yeah, she's always at these trade shows in San Antonio. She works her ass off. She's got 2 babies with my cousin who works many jobs. And I'm like, yo, if we could help them out and show their shit off, why the fuck not? They got little babies. Gotta sell the earrings. Isn't that cool? Like, I'm just so proud of her. She's so fucking talented. She's always been trying to, like, find her thing, and she's so creative, dude. She's so creative. And I'll never forget when I saw, like, her first batch of shit, like her nuggets. I was like, these are amazing. They look like actual McDonald's nuggets. In fact, I should. Where did I put it? I feel like I took it off the fridge and put it somewhere else. I think I stuck it up somewhere here in the house. But anyway, it's pretty cool, huh? So yeah, I'm going to put links to that too. And if you want to contact me, look at the bottom of the screen. There should be something scrolling. It's got all my, literally every single social media I set up for this account and the email right there. It's about to be in the middle. Oblivious Benson. Wait, what? Hold up. Holy shit. Is that why I've been... Some people said they emailed me and it didn't go through. It's because I didn't put the right fucking email. No. Crazy mistake. Wait. Yeah, I didn't put the right email. Let me fix. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who's been getting all these emails? Whoopsie. Well, there we go. There's the corrected one. It's obliviousbenson@gmail.com. See, right? Now it's going to pop up. obliviousbenson@gmail.com. Oh my God, your dad's crazy. Fucked up big time. That's great. Sam Elliott is your boyfriend or your best friend forever celebrity crush. Ooh. He was great in The Big Lebowski. The pink and black flowers. I know. So bright, right? Don't show Johnny Ray. I know he's going to send her to prison. He's going to be like, you must have intrusive thoughts. You told me. Did you tell me it was wrong on here? Oh, your dad has listening problems. They are cool, right? I'm so proud of her. She's so smart. I mean, he is pretty hot even now for his age. Who? John Ray? Oh, Sam Elliott. Okay. Is that where it's got the orange flash? I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, the answer is yes. I don't. Yes, Dad. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, Petty Mason. I thought it was right. Well, there you go. obliviousbenson@gmail.com. Shit. Someone else got your pet photo. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Fuck. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat so you can copy paste it, you guys. Oops. This was my alt account. This was not supposed to be my account. Otherwise, I would have picked a much less complicated name. That's on me. There you go. What are we at? Oh my God, 36 people. Y'all are crazy. All right. So go to JanelleFromHell.com if you want some of that cool stuff. Here is something that I did want to pull for you. The turtle isn't Sunset Lab, but yes, the flash on Sunset Lab is orange. Okay, excellent. I don't know what that's about, but I'm happy for you. What do you guys... Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking You guys want to watch old footage of serial killers from the news? Or what is this? Oh, yeah. I have one thing that I should. Whoa. Pause. I don't even know if I showed this to you guys yet, but I was looking through the archives for old Rex footage, like if he was ever interviewed for anything besides that one French thing. And then I was like, man, I'm really stuck on Schulman and wanting to get more on him and see what else is out there about Bitroff. And I ended up, of course, finding old footage of Rifkin. So I thought, hell, let's watch that. And then I found a whole bunch of stuff on old serial killer footage from these arrests specifically in New York for some of them. And so I started compiling that for you so that maybe we can go back and see if there are any cases or news reports that happen around the time, any of these others that are now springing back up again, unsolved cases happened, and we can compare and contrast. Because remember, not everything's in NamUs. Not everything's super easy to find on newspapers. Sometimes people misspell names. So why not? You know, why the fuck not? We might notice something we didn't notice before. You cracked me up with the scrunchie. I have several mauve velvet scrunchies. I'm not sure if I should keep them all. Keep them all. Yeah, someone else got a random pet photo. I'm so sorry. Fuck. Yes, from the 70s. I lived through that. This is so the specific stuff, of course, it's Melba Tolliver because she's all over the fucking news back then. But it's 1993. I should get some Hoogan earrings. It's genius. Sawbone Sumter, you're so smart. Sawbone Sumter is so smart. Let's try to say that a lot. Yes, to the old serial killer stuff. You guys want to see it? Okay. She is on vacay mode right now, but you can still favor shop. Okay. She's on vacay mode temporarily. I don't know what's going on. I'll contact her tomorrow. She might actually be doing like a trade show. Sometimes she turns it off for that. Good night, PA native and nature girl. Email me at obliviousbensonquestion@gmail.com and I will pimp your store. I was just going to say Rifkin. I saw a documentary on him recently. Yeah, he's fucking crazy. They made one on Oxygen. We had a serial killer in Portland last summer. I know. And they interviewed his girlfriend on the news who was like, I still have all this stuff here. What do I do with it? I was like, what? Maybe we could talk about that. We should talk about that and the one in Alaska. Very scary situation. Both of them. And one of them, the one in Portland, was released because he joined that firefighter program where prisoners could fight forest fires when there were all the crazy fires going on. And in exchange, they would get considered for special favors, early work release, all sorts of stuff. And so he got out early because he helped fight forest fires. Like he's fucking Smokey the Bear all of a sudden. And then they let him out. Of course, he kills people because he's a fucking serial killer and he shouldn't have been let out. Isn't that the story? That actually happened here in Austin. Separate situation, but a guy went into prison in the 80s for killing a little girl and molesting her and dumping her, and it was horrific. He got out super early on this weird type of clemency program almost through the governor and Richards. Then he went back to prison, got out again. He was in there for a while, got out again after killing a store clerk in a convenience store. And he's been out as an elderly man, and he has been killing the shit out of people. And he's confessed to like 17, but they can only get him for like 4. And his name's Raul Mesa Jr. And yeah, there is one, but it is the active serial killer in Austin is Raul, and he's locked up. If you're talking about the one on the lake, that's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. We're going to do an episode on it. But I'll tell you that over 3/4 of those cases are on camera people who suicided or they fell in. They have drowned. There is actual witnesses of them going in and they floated up later. There are people who fall off of boats and drown all the time, get drunk. There are dudes that wander home and go to take a piss off the side and they walk into the woods, and then there's a steep embankment. There's no lighting source. There are no fences. And it goes directly path, woods, boom, down. And it's right next to the busiest bar district. And typically you're going to hit your head and fall to the lake. And they're not even seeing a lot of blunt force trauma because a lot of these dudes are just falling into the lake. There doesn't seem to be any proof of any foul play. They are drowning, which can be found in the autopsy reports. And this is not uncommon. It's just highlighted more on the news for some reason. But the numbers, while they've been spiking recently, these are found bodies. Some of them have been gone for a long time. And the reason that this is happening is because of the water levels, because it's really fucking hot. And the lake has been lowering for a long time. There have been so many missing people because of stupid stuff like jet skiing, and then they fall in the water and then they don't come back up. People getting wasted, wrecking their boats, people trying to boat at night and falling in. And then that doesn't get reported as suspicious by the news. So when their body floats up later during this shit, as more and more are coming up, they're like, oh my God, it's another body. But here's another thing. It's hot as fuck. There's a housing crisis. And they're literally doing the Save Austin Now bullshit where they're refusing to let people have their tents. They'll go through and they'll wreck all the homeless people's tents, even if they're out in the woods. They've relegated them to specific public spots, most of which happen to be along the lake and under bridges. So they will go there. Many of them will OD and either get rolled into the water, or when the tide comes up briefly, when the water levels do rise, they end up in there. Some of them just go swimming because it's hot and they're dehydrated and they drown. Sometimes they fall because they're on drugs or drunk. There has yet to be more than maybe 3 or 4 that are deemed suspicious. Almost all of them have a cause of death accounted for. There are either witness in one of them. One of the most suspicious ones everyone talks about is a teacher who, he was the first one supposedly, but he actually wasn't. There have been people dying in that lake and falling in it and fucking around because it is dangerous. It's just dangerous because everything from the water, the current, like everything that has to do with it, like people boating recklessly, people getting wasted, the heat. It's crazy. And so that's been happening for a really long time. But the one that they attribute to the first of the serial killer was a teacher. He was from a foreign country and he had his house raided by the FBI one week because he was sending money to an organization that they believed at the time, according to some old affidavits, whether or not they were correct about it, because they would point at teachers and say, you go to Guantanamo, and then those guys would have nothing to do with any terroristic cells or activity. That happened all the time. This was a couple of years after September 11th. This guy gets turned in as, how they, oh, I think my neighbor's a terrorist because he's, a brown guy and he carries around a Quran, and everybody's like, oh, fuck. Well, this guy, they investigated him. And at the time, a lot of people would say, this is profiling or this is racism. And, maybe it was. But one thing is he was sending a lot of money to an organization back home that, well, at the time, it seemed like a good cause, good faith organization to help kids. I believe that it was potentially kids in a country that we had sanctions against or we had issues with. So it wasn't surprising when he caught the government's eye. But what was surprising was when the FBI raided his house not once, but twice the same week that he took that tape, put it around his head, put it around his own hands and his own legs, and then jumped into the water. Now, everybody said that's bullshit. He was tightly bound, blah, 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 blah. But you can see the actual records, the reports, the autopsy, the cause of death, everything. Not only that, the police had him on video pulling up, parking his car, getting out, loosely tying duct tape. He went around, I believe it was his legs, his head, his hands. He bit it off and then he jumped. And he likely did that so that he wouldn't come back up. You know how people panic and try to save themselves. Every single person, you could go watch videos made this week. There's a body in the lake, and they make it sound like, the student said he was a funny guy. He was the best guy. Sure, maybe he was. But the fact of the matter is, he was sending money to an organization that caught the eye of the FBI. They raided him. He kills himself. They raid him again. They have video evidence of him by himself doing this. And yet people still want to fucking blame a serial killer. It is wild. So, your dad started charting these a long time ago because there were so many and because I had friends of friends who would, end up missing. And guess what? They reappear. They're back. They're fine. They're okay. But the news doesn't report on that, do they? In fact, I think the last 5 or 6, aside from the one that was last month, the 5 or 6, I think it was 5 before that, every single one of those, the cause of death was literally put out there. And I think, okay, so the cause of death was put out there as drowning for 2 of them. One of them was a possible fentanyl overdose. Another one, a guy shot himself in the head, and there's evidence of it, and then he walked into the water. He was just recently found. They're acting like these are missing boys. That's not what's going on. It's a combination of a lot of different things. We had one woman who was trans, and she was having issues with her family, and she left notes, and she was clinically depressed. And then she went in the water, and then she was reported as a male by the press who was killed by a serial killer, even though she committed suicide. There was a kid who went to UT that same year, and that was when they started saying it was a cluster. That kid left a suicide note, planned on it. It was his 3rd attempt, and they found him in the water. And he had a note on him just in case. And so anyway, let's get to the point of all that. Normally it wouldn't irritate me, but the problem is the longer people keep putting, and another thing is a couple of these guys were found. They were reported as missing, and then everybody's like, oh, the serial killer got him. And then they were found. One guy was found knocked out, and he was in a coma because he went to take a piss off the bridge and fell in. And when he fell, he didn't wake up for a while. They found him out there. They were like, oh, fuck. They reported him as missing, potentially murdered. Guy wakes up. Story is, oh, shit. I was at Tom Segura concert. I got wasted. I went to piss off the bridge. I fell. I woke up. Here I am. He is still on missing persons flyers. And I've talked about this before. He did the same podcast I did. Like, he talked about it was wild to see people report that he was a victim of a serial killer. And he's like still functioning. He's fine. He's better now. But, he's like, yeah, the number of people. This is another thing. You see people pissing off that shit all the time. So, yeah. It's. But see, that's the thing. They're not acting like it. There isn't. Who's acting like there isn't? The news is reporting there is. The police aren't acting like there isn't. They're showing the report. They're like, here's the autopsy. Hey, here's a video of the guy doing it to himself. Hey, here's a cause of death. You can order these things. There have been 3 or 4 families out of over 40 people. There are 3 to 4 that find it suspicious. 2 of them, bless their heart, they just can't. I think that they're in denial. Even though there's no blunt force trauma, there's no proof whatsoever. And pants unzipped. Yeah, they were pissing. In the area that they went in, the time of night, and the fact that one of them was on cocaine and like dehydrated as fuck. There's just so many different circumstances. There's out of those 4, there are 2 that are suspicious. And there's a high likelihood, in my opinion, that somebody beat them up and robbed them and left them for dead, because that's also happened. And then the guys survive. They're found. They end up okay. People get jumped. Don't get me wrong. But like the whole serial killer thing is fucking stupid to me. No offense, but it's just stupid. There's so many gangs down there. It's more than likely someone getting robbed, beat the fuck up, and tossed over, if anything. And that is different than a serial killer. That's a gang problem. Austin doesn't want to do shit about the gang problem because it's going to cost them money. And they don't want to put up lights along an entire trail that they have to fight with city council over because it's protected area. They can't put fences up because it's protected wildlife area. They can't add on to the embankment, and they can't stop it. They don't want to pay more cops at night to go patrol the lake. They got that one boat. It's fucking crazy. They're all about like, well, no, we barely have any money to begin with. No, we've got plenty of fucking money. You're just not using it right. They need to fix this shit. The longer that they can keep us thinking it's a serial killer, the longer they can put off making extremely beneficial, if not horrifically needed. Like, we need it so bad. Checks and balances, aka boundaries, to keep people from doing that. And not only that, it's literally walking distance to the bar district. And another thing, they attribute a lot of people to this lake that were not missing at the lake. It is a big area, first of all. Someone going missing on 6th Street is very different than someone going missing on Rainy. Those are two different areas. Totally. It's just fucking wild. It really is. Yeah, it's not a serial killer, but Raul Mesa Jr. is. They should absolutely do something about it. It's fucking crazy. Like, they need to. The thing is, they're like, no, we don't want to put up a fence. It's gonna affect boat docks. We're gonna have to get permits. We're gonna have to put up money. Why? When we can get a new fucking tank for the police. We don't need a fucking tank. They have cops on horses here. Do you guys realize how stupid that is? The horses get scared downtown from the gunshots. Like, it's so dumb. And they just shit in the street. It's nuts. I fell into a river when drunk. I banged my shin, luckily not my head. A boy got me out a little while later. I was very lucky. I'm still traumatized. Very easy to have those and then imagine this. You're leaving the most heavily populated bar district where people are being overserved constantly. Literally, there's bartenders down there that are selling people cocaine in the alley. Everybody's getting fucked up. The amount of fentanyl going around downtown is insane. Who's to say that some of these dudes didn't just overdose themselves, pass out, and fall the fuck in? Because, I mean, it happens a lot. Like, there was one weekend I was at the comedy club and I came outside, 3 people passed out dead from fentanyl in the back alley. It was on the news. No one gave a fuck because they were homeless. And it feels weird because it feels like the more we keep the serial killer thing in the news, the less they have to do to house the homeless. If we're being honest, I think that's because most of these people are homeless. It's something like less. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but it's less than a third or around a fourth are like college age kids. A lot of them, you just get a man or a woman. Yeah, they're homeless and they're adults. And when that info comes out, they don't share that. And that's because they have to do something about it. And they would rather not put the homeless in homes or have it be their responsibility. They'd rather arrest them or let them die. You saw they let that TikToker almost drown that one homeless lady. She hasn't had charges against her yet, huh? It's fucking crazy. What's up, Hudson? I'm bitching. I'm not a cat. Hudson's here. But yeah, we could go over them one by one. I think it could really use that. It's going to be long. It's probably going to have to be split into many parts. I'll have to make it its own playlist, but we'll go over each fucking case thoroughly so that people can see there's no... I mean, I have no incentive to not want it to be shit. We're on a true crime channel. I'm not saying I should want there to be a serial killer. No one should. But it's like, oh, shouldn't that be the clickbait dream, right? No, it's fucking terrible. It's really just not handling the problem is what it is. It keeps them from having to address real issues with the community that they have to invest in that they caused. Yeah, I don't fuck with water here. And there's fucking water moccasins everywhere. Also, a lot of machete attacks in Austin. Nowhere near the lake, just fucking everywhere. It's crazy. Yeah. And the thing is, hey, if it makes you feel any better, I know that this doesn't really necessarily make it better. Nothing can. But I mean, if they're drunk and they pass out, they likely didn't feel any pain. Almost all of them drowned. I mean, I can't think of a serial killer that just drowned someone primarily and only. I really can't. Yeah, and now, like, there are so many people that are latching onto this and making these videos about it, being like, what if? Or like, there's evidence of, and it's like, no, dude. And they think that the police are trying to be pricks by not releasing this shit, but it's In Texas, the laws are weird and like they don't have to. And also the families can be like, nope. Also, if they don't name them, people can't public request the documents. And I usually get a response back, but there have been many occasions where they're like, we can't tell you that at the request of the family, which indicates usually that it's a teen who fell off a boat because they don't give away like juvenile records. Or if it's a drug OD and they haven't told the next of kin, that's the other reason. Homeless person who they can't identify, we would see on the news. But if they can identify them, which they usually can, but they can't get a hold of anyone to tell them, they'll just withhold it. And if you don't have ID, you can't request it. Yeah, Nashville. You talk about Riley? He's down water, no cowboy boots, but still had his boxers on. Yeah, that's another thing is like kids will like get drunk sometimes and want to go skinny dipping, or they'll want to go like take a piss in the water. I've known plenty of drunk people who are like, switch shirts with me, switch shoes with me, like fucking crazy behavior. So who knows what that was about? It looked like he was drugged and suspicious. And here's another thing. He could have very well been drugged. So could any of these guys I'm talking about. That's not the same as a serial killer. That's someone like either trying to date rape you or bradanga you. You know what I mean? Like take your shit, like scopolamine style. But these guys aren't missing anything, you know? And there's no like footage of them being followed. There was one that was a little suspicious that actually, so of those 4 I was talking about, there were 2 that were suspicious because there was a blonde lady who is going around drugging dudes and robbing them. She was around 2 of them, or at least around the areas they were in at one point or another. Whether it was at the exact time as them, I don't know. Excuse me. But people had brought that to the attention of like, this is the hotel where this lady was found and on the news for being wanted because she pulled a Cardi B, if you will. But at the same time, she's gotten more aggressive and she's done it to a lot of people. And she happened to be in the same area. I don't know if it was the exact same day, but it was around that time as 2 people who are men who I believe did not have their wallets. The other 2 did. So it's a lot. We would have to go by them one by one. There could be a woman pushing dudes that she drugs into the lake. I believe both of them went by Iron Cactus first, yet nothing came of that. It really bothers me. I need to take a Benadryl. Yeah, the Paranormal Files did a 3-hour, and I was like, and then went into ghost hunting. Yeah, they're fucking dumb. Paranormal Files. Oh my god! Like La Llorona's gonna come out and fucking tell them where the bodies are. Come on, a black velvet scrunchie covered in cat hair. You might be a cat. You're a cat. You're a cat. Hello, everybody. Okay, one dog photo coming to the right email. You're a fucking bird. I am a fucking bird. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bird. I'm such a fucking bird. Yeah, Riley did look wasted. And you know what scared the shit out of me with Riley's case? When he hit his head. I don't even think it was once. I think it was twice. There's one where he's running along a wall. It's a brick wall. And it just looks like he fucking cracked his head. And then he's running across a parking lot and he goes thunk into a pole, like full blast. What the fuck? The crack to the back, not to be a Wendy here, but the crack to the back of the head and then the one immediately to the frontal lobe. Is it frontal and temporal? One of them really fucks you up. One of them you can crack in the wrong spot. I've had both cracked, and I'm telling you, this is the one that like, whew, I was cross-eyed. I had to go to the hospital. It was horrible, man. It swelled up huge. But it was terrifying. Imagine being that fucking wasted, having that happen. Terrifying, dude. That poor kid. Yeah, La Llorona. Doug was on the spirit box and cracked the case. Now, how do I get that into evidence? I don't remember giving. Yeah. Well, Doug heard someone say that an old man in a cowboy hat did it. Okay. Yeah, he went down so hard, dude. Fuck. That was hard to watch. Kind of tripped me out how all the news stations were just replaying that dunk, dunk, dunk. It's like, dude. that kid was going so fast he fell. People saw him do that. I think one lady even filmed him and said, "Are you okay?" or something. But then to see the footage a few minutes later where he walks by that cop and he's like, "Hello, officer," and he's fine. If he had a concussion, he could 100% respond that way and then get further down and then get exhausted and then vomit and not be in a good place. And then imagine falling asleep with a concussion. And you saw how sharp that embankment went down. It was very similar to Austin Lady Bird Lake. If you watched when they were searching where they found his card, how steep that shit was, very similar. Imagine no gates and it's pitch black. Yeah. Something was up with that kid. Like it. Here's what I think happened with Riley Strain. I think that his frat brothers may have slipped him something. I wonder if it was acid or if they took any mushrooms. Something that likely wouldn't show up in a tox screen, maybe. I don't know about acid, but I know mushrooms likely wouldn't. Probably drank a fuckload. Was either overserved immediately or drugged. Maybe there was a girl next to him. The bartender or someone bought her a drink. She didn't want it, slid it to him. Who knows? Now imagine like being fucked up on something. You don't know what it could be. Mushrooms, could be acid, could be nothing. He could just be that fucked up. Somebody in the frat could have given him a cap full of GHB. That changes fucking everything, and it's not traceable. At least not by the time they found him. And it would absolutely explain the adrenaline, the time frame, him running is just a lot. Yeah, Melly is the boss. He was putting on the, "Oh shit, it's a cop." Yeah. In the way he was like, "Hello, officer." Like, whoa. He pulled that shit together really quick. Oh, I got the hiccups from holding in a burp, so I didn't seem rude. Good point, Dad. Poor family. So much for his mates keeping. And so that's another thing is we don't even know if it was his mates, because here's the thing. What if, I'm just going to pose this. Okay, you're a frat boy, right? Your buddy's like, "I'm going to take these mushrooms. I'm going to take this ecstasy. I'm going to take this acid, or I'm going to take this GHB. Or I'm not going to take nothing. I'm going to go get fucking wasted." And you're like, "Bro, chill. Bro, chill. Hey, you don't need to be doing that." What if they did tell him don't do that and he did it anyway? As soon as he went missing, everybody was up their ass. "What did you do? Why weren't you there for him?" You think at that point, after all that public pressure and the freaky situation, that they're going to offer up that he chose to do? He took mushrooms, we couldn't stop him. Then they're going to get more shit. And they probably didn't think he was dead at that point. It was likely a situation, in my opinion, if they had anything to do with it, where they were either not sure how to handle it and didn't want to talk shit, or they didn't want to get in trouble and be asked who gave him this. What if he asked one of them, "Will you sell me something?" And one of them sold him something. And then he did that, got wasted, and then went out on the town. And they're like, "Oh, fuck. You know, this is going to come back on me," but they don't know he's dead yet. Like, they could have thought, because they could have thought he was alive, are we protecting him from getting in trouble for this? It really here's the thing. Teenage boys and early age college boys are fucking selfish. They see bro code is more important than doing what's right sometimes, or they don't know what's right. Doesn't make it right that they did that, but they're fucking ignorant. They don't know what they're doing. They're stupid. They think, he's a grown-ass man. He can take what he wants. What if they don't know that he took something? What if he took something and they don't know about it? And they're just as worried as everybody. And here's the other thing. Everybody was saying, and I'm playing devil's advocate here because I'm just trying to think of what's practical. Here's one thing that I know for sure in a lot of these investigations, because I've seen it. They will often tell specific people, "Don't go look." Seems crazy, right? Well, no, because if he comes back to the hotel room, if he contacts one of you, Or the heat is on. You know, people, maybe these dudes are getting death threats from the public, from these crazy JLR fuckers. And that's why they don't go out and search. Maybe they were in mourning because they feel responsible and they did nothing. We don't know. There's just so much we don't know. So I feel super uncomfortable going, they should have done more, because at the same time, they're fucking teen boys doing the same shit he is, getting as wasted as he is, living their life like he is. They're not first responders. They're not police. They're not search experts. From the small area they were from, they likely have never had anyone go missing, you know? At the same time, they could have been a little pissed at him. Maybe they told him don't. You know? Maybe they didn't even see him leave. Maybe they did. There's just so many different ways that this could go for Riley that isn't really their responsibility because he's a grown-ass man. Everybody's like, but they're brothers. No. Listen, these are fucking rich kids whose parents paid a lot of money to get them into a frat. So it would look good on a job application one day. And spoiler alert, nobody gives a fuck. They just don't. These are dudes who paid money to be in a party environment. Fair enough, no judgment. But like, let's not pretend that they're all bonded by blood. I mean, sorority sisters, sure, totally. They fucking love each other. They stay friends for fucking ever. Or enemies. Frat dudes, it's not always like that, you know? Some of them are just like, yo, my dad paid for me to get here so I could get cheap beer and, you know, get laid. It's literally the exact college culture you see on the news, on TV, in movies, everywhere. That you hear about from your friends that you may have lived. So none of these people are professional missing persons investigators. There's also a chance they're just fucking pricks and they don't give a shit about him. And that fucking sucks too. It's just, you know, I have a hard time believing that, you know? Although when I saw I think it was his parents or someone like really upset about that. I can understand. It's his parents. But at the same time, with the amount of worked up they are, we don't know like how his parents react to things. They might have never met his parents before. What if they knew that he took something and they're like, your son took acid, and they're worried that they're not going to believe him because they're talking about Riley would never do that. Well, fuck. You know? It's a confusing situation, but all I know is he's by himself on camera. None of those boys are with him. So we know they didn't push him in. He's by himself on camera running. None of those boys are chasing him. He's an adult. Yes, he's in a new city. But it's also not very male, in my opinion. Like a lot of these dudes that age, they don't necessarily, they're not like, let's go to the bathroom together. That's like a girl thing, you know? Just like, they're not going to be like, does anybody want to come home with me? I'm scared to walk alone at night. Fuck no. They will literally run full speed to their hotel, probably drunk down the road. I can see that. Looks like that's what Riley did. So I don't know. That one's confusing, but to me, it kind of looks like if I'm concerned that he had GHB, honestly, because that's a big party drug. Like, it's not even a drug. It's just pure fucking alcohol. It's a date rape drug, yeah, but it's also like it can kill you very quickly. Wouldn't that make them watch him more, though? No, not if they were fucked up, too. You know? Like, if they were fucked up, imagine they did the same shit he did, but they're a different weight and size, or they've done it before. They didn't do as much, but they're still fucked up. Oh, yes, pictures here. Hairless cat. Oh, sweet baby. I can't wait to look. The most simple explanation. I have an idea that these type. Yeah, they're going to be on the rise, too, because of the amount of, again, like, the market with drugs is crazy. Like, people are buying drugs that are like fentanyl and buying it thinking that it's like Molly. There have been a lot of comics recently. Well, I'd say in the last 5 to 10 years that have died from fentanyl-laced drugs, from bad Molly and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, fuck, I don't even fuck with that shit. So, ugh. It's just so much. Yeah, I'm sure they do feel terrible. One kid came out with him but had to go back in to pay his tab. See, he was so fucked up. He left it first and then was like, whoops. Like, to me, that doesn't seem like that kid had his shit together. And then Riley could have just taken off before he got back out there. He's like, fuck, I lost my buddy. You know? I couldn't afford to travel and party like that in college. My dumb ass could have been in the same shit. Yeah. If my parents had paid for me to be in some shit like a sorority, I don't know if I would have done it, but just because I don't want to learn the Greek letter system. But it's like, I already know one fucking alphabet. But in all seriousness, like, I don't know if I would have done it. But like, I know a ton of kids who did. And there's no shame in it. It's what they shit, look at the Idaho 4. They were all in fucking sororities. Brats. You know, Greek life is different everywhere. People have their opinions about it, but it's not like the second you meet someone or just because you live with them for a semester, you know everything about them. And also, you don't get to pick who your sorority brothers and sisters are, right? Except unless you're at the top. So you're likely going to be stuck in a frat with a couple dickheads that you don't like. Not everybody is like bound by blood according to the Greek system, you know? Yeah, all the swag. GHB makes so much sense to me. It's just like, it's very big in the South too. My theory from the beginning was one of the 8 or so friends he was with knows something. I don't know. See, I would think that too if any of them were with him. But the second he left the bar, like they have his digital forensic footprint like through his phone. They can see who contacted him. So in that instance, like if anybody did know anything, it would have to be through that method. You know, because the second he left that bar, none of his friends were in contact with him physically. And we saw him on camera. We saw him alone completely. So like, if someone knew something and were texting with him, then the police likely already know that. And that person would be arrested if it was anything nefarious, right? Or questioned. So I think that they don't know shit, but they made poor decisions in keeping an eye on their friend, maybe. They could have made poor decisions in assisting him and getting fucked up. But as far as the second he left the door, it's like, I mean, he's a grown-ass man. What are they going to do? I don't think that they're... I just don't think there's any, just my opinion, I don't think there's any reason to think that they would know anything. Like, it would be in their best interest to say if they did, but like, what could they possibly know? You know? It's very strange. Like, none of them contacted him after there was no physical contact between the two after he left the bar that anybody knows of. So, like, I just don't know what they would have known, you know? It's very interesting. There's a chick on Grizzly's True Crime Patreon who has a hairless cat named Scarlett O'Hara. Oh my God. People take GHB. Absolutely. Tom Segura took it on purpose. I talked about him a lot. He's a comic. He took it and was in a coma. And his parents had to come visit him. And he talks about it on his podcast, YMH. He was in a coma for a long time. It was fucked up. Because he took a capful. And he bought it. He got in the car to buy it. I gave him a jug. And he took a whole capful or something. And then he spiraled out of control, woke up from a coma. Like, it can kill you. But also, some people get adrenaline rushes and they like burst down the street. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't need the phone, though. So one thing about phone forensics, you don't always need the hard phone. If you're doing like a full Cellbrite extract of the physical phone, that's one thing, but you can get a warrant for the carrier and still get all the call log history. You would still get like pretty much everything, sometimes even if it's encrypted. So yeah, they could just easily serve a warrant. And if the parents pay the phone bill, even better, they don't have to do that. They can literally just call the phone carrier and be like, I need all their data. Done. So yeah, I have no doubt that they know. And also, like, they brought the FBI in, which means the Secret Service was brought in, which means that they're going to be doing the cell phone analysis. So I have no doubt that they got that. The hotel was the same as the business. That was in the direction he walked. So I think he Google mapped that name and went the wrong way. That makes fucking sense. That makes total fucking sense. Yes, very small amounts of GHB is kind of like an alcohol high. Yeah, and people get it and they get fucking wasted. Mine is called Luxa. The cat? Luxka. I like that. Very fine line on the GHB amount. Very risky, yeah. There was another chemical, I can't remember what it was called, HCI something, but it was It was all around during the spice epidemic. People would like take like, it's like a grain of salt size can kill you. It's like, why even buy this shit? And they would take it for euphoric purposes, but it just seemed like a synthetic, I guess smokable or snortable. I don't know how they did it, but form of GHB. It's what it was described as. Wow, like the time I smoked some pot with a friend and then they told me it was laced with PCP or something nuts. Yeah, did they say angel dust like that, Dave Chappelle? Yeah, I'll admit when I was doing a comedy tour a long time ago, somebody in this really shitty town in Texas called Big Spring, fucking terrible place, was like, "You want to hit this pipe?" I was in a mood. Dad was like, "Maybe I'll partake in a little joint." And I hit it, and I just remember getting anxious and hiding in the headliner's car and going, because they put some on it. And I think it was bath salts. I don't know. I fucking freaked out. And then I went to a restaurant called the Catfish Parlor and I ate everything. But yeah, it was terrifying. It was, fuck that, dude. Kids are crazy now. I saw a guy once seizure and I had to reach in and pull his tongue out and he fucking bit me because he smoked a bunch of spice in the parking lot, a comic. I was on stage. I had to run off stage down to the parking lot to get him. My buddy Dave. And none of us knew that he was smoking that shit, but he bought that spice stuff. He gave him a shitload of seizures. It was terrifying. Yeah, I can imagine GHB fuck you up. Yeah, I did a blow by dose suit. Benadryl's wearing off. I used to take GHB with ecstasy when I was young. Yeah, they have all these names for it. They're like, oh, hippie flipping, hippie tripping. That Earwed side is where I learn a lot about this, but I've also heard stories from, a lot of comics experiment with a lot of drugs. You hear about it on stage and off, and man, GHB is terrifying. Isn't that what in Degrassi, what they drugged that girl with in the episode where Drake saves the girl? Is it Drake? Jimmy? Does he save the girl from an R? Anyway. Yeah, I'm surprised any of us fucking survived the 90s, the 80s, all of it. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, you're just expecting just one little puff. Yikes. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Drugs are crazy now. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, we were going to watch Rifkin. Let's watch this old Rifkin footage. Because your dad's got to check on the Hoogan. All right? Peep this. Tell me what you think.
Rifkin has admitted killing 17 women in the New York area. Police believe he might have buried one of his victims in Nyack. State troopers spent today digging but found nothing. They will resume their search tomorrow.
A New Jersey man is in critical but stable condition tonight after a violent stabbing. 17-year-old Halim Kasigas of East Patchogue was arraigned today on attempted murder charges. Police last Friday say the teen attacked the victim and stole his car. The victim, Steve Dalton, was slashed in the throat and stomach. The prosecutor says he has a taped confession from the suspect, but the defense attorney wants to know why his client was held since last Friday.
He's been in custody for over 30 hours, and now all of a sudden they have a video confession, a written confession, an oral confession, and all the icing on the cake that they need. The question is, why wasn't he, pursuant to statute, brought to arraignment as quickly as possible?
Kasigas is being held on $500,000 cash bail.
No charges are being filed in a tragic accident that took the life of an 18-month-old girl in Jamesport. Police say the child, Maggie Murphy, was killed when her father, Brandon Murphy, accidentally ran over her with the family van. It happened in the Murphys' driveway Saturday. Maggie Murphy was pronounced dead at an area hospital. A young girl from Springs who fought a courageous battle against cancer has died. Marcia Kulawoski was sick with acute leukemia for 3 years, and her fight made news throughout the area. Many entertainers joined the effort to try to find a bone marrow match for Marcia. But yesterday, the 5-year-old died at Children's Hospital in Boston. The money supporters raised to help Marcia will be used to help pay the Kulikowski family's $1 million in medical expenses.
The 20-month-old baby girl who was found floating face down in a Coram swimming pool yesterday is clinging to life tonight. Lena Amalfitano was in the pool behind this house on Hudson Street when somehow she wandered into the water. Her father began CPR, but within minutes, a Suffolk police officer and a Coram firefighter came to the child's rescue.
It was not breathing. It was a little blue. And As we were doing CPR, we did have water coming out the baby's nose and mouth.
We were restoring life back into the child. The child did start to breathe, but was having difficulty breathing on its own.
No one knows how long little Lena was in the water. She is in critical but stable condition tonight at Stony Brook Hospital.
Coming up next on the night edition, a usually quiet Wheatley Heights neighborhood is disrupted by a grisly discovery, and a measure to protect the Pine Barrens is okayed by state lawmakers, but who's footing the bill?
Also ahead, the Eastern tourist trade benefits from the warm weather. Stay tuned. Murder neighborhood, and tonight area residents are wondering how that murder could have been committed on their street. News 12's Petra Schaefer has the story.
Police suspect 26-year-old Michael Meredith spent his last living moments in this quiet Wheatley Heights neighborhood. That is, just before someone shot him in the head. He was found slumped over the driver's seat of a silver Thunderbird.
There's certain things that lead us to believe that this might possibly be some kind of robbery attempt. Some of the victims' personal possessions are just outside the car.
Police spent the afternoon searching the car and talking to neighbors. This woman did not find the body this morning, but she was around when another neighbor did.
Her husband and her were looking. Then they ran, right around the block again. And then within a couple of minutes, like 15 minutes, the cops arrived and she came back, and then there was a whole crowd and they put out the tapes and stuff like that.
Neighbors say there could have easily been a shooting in this normally quiet neighborhood last night, and the reason is all over the ground today. Like many other neighborhoods in Long Island, there were a lot of firecrackers going off here last night.
I don't know that with that gunshots could be distinguished from fireworks.
But some say they're not surprised that the killer picked this spot on Hilltop Drive.
So on occasions, they've had people that come up here and they park their car down at the end of the block and they sit there quietly and have a beer or something like that. So I guess this would have been the ideal place if someone wanted to do something like this and then just walk away unnoticed.
Neighbors say now they'll keep a more watchful eye on their street. In Wheatley Heights, Petra Schaefer, News 12.
I'm curious, for those of you from New York, where is this as far as in the proximity to Massapequa? I could look on a map, but is it? I wonder. Sometimes I'll look on the map and it'll be like a neighborhood and it's not listed. Also, yes, Ralph Williams does know what the fuck is up. I like how he's just looking out of his window watching shit go down. Oh God, Pattyanne Brown's coming up again. Guys, one's in the chat if you want to keep watching this, because it's pretty interesting. Also, this is around. When exactly did they find Castilla? I just want to be clear. That was why I was even watching this one to begin with, I think. If I remember correctly. Okay, it was November 1993, so let's keep that in mind. So November 1993 was when... Let's see, she was discovered dead in November. When did she go missing? I wonder, I feel like I never even... I don't think I wrote that down. So ones you guys want to keep watching? Okay. Yeah, so let's see, when did she... She was found brutally beaten and strangled in the woods in the North Sea in the Hamptons. Okay, so they did have a search area. Interesting. How odd is it that he was arrested right at the beginning of his summer kill season? Good. Fuck his summer up. Yeah, so this is interesting because I don't know exactly. Does anybody in the chat know off the top of their head how long Sandra Castilla was missing before they found her? Because I know they searched for her. I just don't know how long. Top of my head. That catching list dude was here. He would know. Fuck. The first girl. Yeah, Sandra. So now that we know it's Rex, I mean, again, this was before he was married, but May, June, or what is it? June, July, August to September. That seems like his, his typical time frames. He's a summer killer. Yeah, she went missing in 93. She was found November 93. So I wonder what month. I bet it was a summer. But I think that's why I actually saved this. I don't know if it was because of Rifkin. I think it was because of that story. Part of me was interested in, like, how many shootings were there in the area? You know what I mean? And, like, I'm going to go back a little. Let me
Tonight
see this
at
again.
Stony Brook Hospital.
Coming up next on the night edition, a usually quiet Wheatley Heights neighborhood is disrupted by a grisly discovery, and a measure to protect the
Because here's the thing. At this time, between 90 or even, like, technically 87 and 96, 97, there were I think, because I watch a lot of this fucking news from places I'm not from. Like, told you guys I'm obsessed with West Virginia news. I love Seattle news, but New York news is like some of my favorite news, honestly. To me, it's like as good as Howard. And I'm sitting there listening to it, and I swear between like the late 80s and mid 90s, there was a peak in violent crime in Long Island, in Suffolk specifically, but it was so many different kinds. Yeah, that's when she was found, though, right? Was November 20th? But I want to know when she went missing, because I believe she was found. Yeah, she was discovered dead November. So, I just think it's odd. It's very odd to me, like the amount, and there are different. It's a lot of different ones, but there is an inordinate amount of crime that was odd, like a throat being slit, of a woman who's tied up in her house. The killer was allowed in. There was one where it was like a woman and her kid, and the kid was alive and the woman was killed. There were a bunch of women who were older and didn't fit his profile, but there were also others who were shot, and there were men who were shot. And there's just so many things going on in that time period. There were heads popping up, bodies, body parts. You know, we were coming down off a hard Rifkin. We were also dealing with, or I say we, you guys, were also dealing with the fallout and the catching of Shulman. There was just a lot going on, and then you count Bitroff. So there's just a lot, and they're all so oddly different, but they could fit the profiles of any of these dudes, considering what they did. You know, like the dudes, like Shulman, Rex, Bitroff, they all had something in common, and Rifkin, like they all had a lot in common as far as like construction abilities, things like that, manual labor abilities. Although they were all different people, two of them were really super clean, two of them were really super fucking messy. See, so she didn't go missing September 2010, because she was found in 93, so that would be impossible. Carmen Vargas in 89 has Rex written all over it. Possibly. It's very interesting to me how many odd shootings there were also back in the early 90s that were unsolved in that area, that had no real ties to the mafia, no real ties to gang involvement, not a suicide, no spouse issues, and no road rage. It's just someone shot in the woods. It's wild. Anyway, that probably was why I saved this. But I want to watch this one more time, this one part, then we'll keep going.
Also had the
Did you guys want to?
tourist trade benefits from the warm weather. Stay tuned. Murder neighborhood, and tonight area residents are wondering how that murder could have been committed on their street. News 12's Petra Schaefer has the story.
Petra, hey bitch.
Police suspect 26-year-old Michael Meredith spent his last living moments in this quiet Wheatley Heights neighborhood. That is, just before someone shot him in the head. He was found slumped over the driver's seat of a silver Thunderbird.
There's certain things that lead us to believe that this might possibly be some kind of robbery attempt. Some of the victims' personal possessions are just outside the car.
Police spent the afternoon searching.
See, so this is what interests me about this one, is like, could be a robbery attempt. Let's play the fun game everyone likes to play. What if it was Rex? I do wonder if he committed, because his escalation, the thing that surprised me was the rapidity of it. Like, it just goes so fast. And it also goes backwards. So that makes me wonder, because he also fucks with fire. And we all know that that's part of the dark triad. But there's also an escalation with the guys who fit his profile that are very similar to him of robbery. So I've always wondered, did he ever rob banks, convenience stores, gas stations, or people prior to his murders? I mean, obviously, I'd love to know if he abused animals, but he has a dog that, or at least Chris does. So it doesn't seem like he's anti-dog, although he did look at that reporter's dog like, what the fuck are you doing here? But it does make me wonder, did he escalate from something? Was he into any form of arson? We do know that he let an apartment building burn down with families in it. Luckily, they survived. But that was a huge mistake for someone who's so intricate about their complex building codes and the loopholes, that he missed over a dozen families living in a building that he allowed to be left in a state of disrepair that led to a fucking fire. And I don't believe that they necessarily ever indicated exactly what started it. There's just a lot of things surrounding him and fire that freak me out, and guns. Like, why have that many guns if you're not going to use them? We see indications of strangulation, dismemberment, all these different issues with the death of these women and the MO, the SIG, all of it. But we don't really see bullets being involved other than John Ray's supposed witness's statement. Take that with a grain of salt. So if he had all these guns, makes you wonder, did he ever rob people? Because he became a successful architect later in life. He worked at a different firm till 93. He met a guy at the codes office who liked him and offered him a job, and he moved into the building that he to this day is currently in, I believe, in 94. So he talked about in his little interview with old Frenchie that prior to 93, he was learning this trade, right? He seemed kind of broke. He's fresh out of high school. He worked at a beach. Makes me wonder, did he ever rob people? Did he use a gun to do that? I don't know if this guy could be one of them, but
Searching the car and talking to neighbors. This woman did not find the body this morning, but she was around when another neighbor did.
Her husband and her were looking. Then they ran, right around the block again. And then within a couple of minutes, like 15 minutes, the cops arrived and she came back, and then there was a whole crowd and they put out the tapes and stuff like that.
Neighbors say there could have easily been a shooting in this normally quiet neighborhood last night, and the reason is all over the ground today. Like many other neighborhoods in Long Island, there were a lot of firecrackers going off here last night.
I want to highlight three comments. Petty Mason, Sandra doesn't have a missing date. She was arrested sometime in 1992, so not before that. Interesting. I'm going to go try to get that arrest report later. Saving your comment because that's interesting. Thank you for that comment. This is the other one. Rex is a complete deviant. I'm assuming you meant deviant or deviate. See, here's the thing. You've got a bit of an accidental double entendre with a misspelling, but it works because if you mean deviant, true. If you mean he deviates, also true. So everything is on the table. I completely agree. Y'all saw me on Melanie. I was very skeptical. I never said impossible, but I said he would be extremely rare if he did it XYZ, and it seems he did it XYZ. So I'm right in that it's rare, but I was wrong in that I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. I wasn't expecting a backwards dismemberment. He Benjamin Buttoned. He's the first serial killer really to Benjamin Button, but it does kind of make sense when you consider how messy it all is, his age, stuff like that. It's so practical that it didn't make sense to me, but now it does. Because I think it kind of fits his profile. I really wish behavioral profile girl, is it Sarah or Katie? I think it was Sarah. Yeah, I wish she was here right now because this is like something I'd be curious what she thought about. As far as he went from like doing something that was really messy and really complicated to, it seems like, a sort of ritual, and he took all these notes and he read all the books. He did everything that you would think someone would do when they were trying really hard to get away with some deviant shit, you know? But I'm very curious what it says about him that he started off so extreme. What does that mean? Like, as far as behaviorally speaking, is that more of like a push to the breaking point? What happened that pushed him there? What events went down around his first kill? If Sandra was his first kill, but if not, I wonder if you could reverse search for that reason by seeing what trauma he had in his life and then looking at who went missing around him or in his area, in his neighborhood around that time that trauma occurred. Interesting. But yes, I love that. It is true. Everything is on the table now. So odd. Wow, rewind. Yes, rewind. This is the third comment. Melly, great point. I could see him robbing people, hurting animals. His violent tendencies were always there. Agreed. I wonder, you know, it's interesting to me also that he left the belt behind because, and they did indicate in so many words that it's his belt. I mean, people were saying they never said it was his belt. I went back and watched the lady who gave the press conference. She said it was his fucking belt. She's like, we believe it was his and he handled it. What's interesting to me is like, if it were the belt of your dad, wouldn't that mean something? Or your grandpa, wouldn't that mean something? And you wouldn't want to get rid of it. Or obviously, like, you wouldn't want your DNA to be found. And that could be the reason why. It doesn't necessarily have to be sentimental. But that's one of the few things that I do think is kind of symbolic. I don't know. The fact that he would leave, consider it like a family heirloom, if you will, seems super careless. You know? It'd be like if Brian Koberger's knife sheath were in the family for generations. It's odd to me that he left it. Part of me wonders if he did that on purpose or if it was a mistake. Because why would you leave that if it's important? Then it made me think, well, if it's William, right, his grandpa, like maybe he hated him. Maybe he was like, here, you can stay here. Because remember, he treated the women like garbage. You know, he tossed them out. He was especially morbid and tortured and teased, and he'd call and he'd tease the family. And that's a very specific type of killer. Just the teasing and calling on the phone and contacting them alone is very fucking specific. That narrows down more about him, I think, behaviorally than anything. But then leaving the belt, it's like, what does that mean? Like, it can't just, if it is a mistake, holy shit, what a bad one. But I don't know. I mean, if he wore gloves and he's handling the belt, then what is it about the belt that was easy for him to leave behind in that moment? It's interesting. Irony in your daddy inbox. I mentioned arson. Oh, shit. Okay, I will go check. When you have time, typo. Hey there, everybody. What a wonderful way to wake up this morning on the East Coast by listening to Dad. Good morning, fam. Hey, good morning, Mary. Good morning. What do you think about Rex leaving that belt behind? Hey, stop it. Your brain's smart. The belt kind of reminded me of a BTK stunt, like leaving a little signature, right? But he didn't do that with any of the other women. I wonder if she fought back or took too long, you know what I mean, to pass for him. I wonder if he was experiencing extra aggravation. Yeah, I do think it could be a deliberate symbol. Very sadist. I wonder if there was also like the situation where one of them brought her, was it Megan brought her phone? I wasn't supposed to. I wonder if, like, based on specific things that he required of them or asked of them, if that determined how they were treated. Because I don't know. There's just a couple of things about him that are so odd to me, and they're so backwards. But if it were for XYZ, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Strange. I'm going to have behavioral analyst girl on to talk to us about this. This is a fucking mind blow. But anyway, I am curious about, was he like brutally attacked by someone as a kid? Like, did he get dextered? Was he left in a pool of blood to watch Rita, or his mom die? Like, I don't know. Something's up with this dude, because yes, people can be born evil 100%, totally. But for this level and the amount of careful prep he puts into it and shit, like, I don't know. Does bullying really cause this sort of thing? Or is this environmental? Is this innate? It's very odd. I think the trauma could explain a lot. In my opinion, one doesn't start off extreme. I think he became extreme. Perhaps the violence was some. See, that's what I'm having a hard time dealing with too, Melly. Is like, how does one just skip to this amount of extreme? There has to be a buildup somewhere. If it's not animals and it's not arson, what is it? And I am curious about the guns. He really loves the guns. He has a ton of them. Maybe he was mad his dad died and left him with a house of wood. God damn. No sure truth has ever been spoken. That could be. And he was left the man of the house at a time when he was getting bullied and told he's not a man by classmates. Women don't want to be around him and don't want to date him. Do you think that when the belt came on the news that anyone else knew the Heuermann family would recognize it? Like her sister, Asa's? I don't think so. Here's the thing. When you look at a guy like Shrek's, you don't really look at the belt there. You don't go, ooh, let me check out that dick. Like, you don't do that. You know, I don't. Do you? Like, I'm not going to go look at his fucking belt. I don't give a shit about his belt. I'd imagine that most women felt the same. So I wonder if no one noticed. Oddly enough, a giant big fucking Hufflepuff is in front of you, or what's it called? A Jigglypuff? Fucking right there. Shrek's in front of you. Nobody's looking at the belt, you know, before. It's very interesting. I think he got into really dark stuff and then wanted to bring it to real life. Totally. I mean, that's part of the process, right? It's like their fantasy. It's fucked up. I hope he starts to talk. I hope so too. He may have already. Who knows? His dad died in a boat accident. I think Rex was 12. Oh, shit. Interesting, because I don't even want to say it. I don't want to insinuate it. But Apology Line guy died getting hit by a jet ski. Have you seen the story of Rex's Uncle Ken? Yeah. I don't think that I think that's kind of here's the thing. If you've ever been related to a Catholic priest, you know, there's a good chance you're related. Not saying all of them, but I mean, shit, I'm related to a Catholic priest. A lot of Catholic priests are fucking pedophiles, dude. Like a lot. Good amount of them. Good chunk of them, especially in Long Island. Ask Melanie. So, you know, he would have been 4, I think, when his uncle got in trouble for that shit, and his uncle focused on girls. So I don't know. I don't think there was anything there. I don't even think they could ever prove that they went to that church. I don't know that they did. I think they went to one in Virginia, maybe. So I don't know. I don't think the uncle has much of anything to do with it. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. You think Asa did? I wonder if Asa watched the news, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, Shrek's, dude. I'm fucking savage today, Hud. I'm savage, Hud. I'm listening to my eyes closed. Go to sleep. Nope, not today. Nope, today is not your day for staying awake. Go night. Daddy loves you. Lutheran church. Thought it was Catholic. Are you sure? Hold on. Oh, interesting. A 66-year-old woman filed a sex assault suit against him in 2019. Him? Was this a different Kenneth Heuermann? There are multiple ones? Oh, St. John's Lutheran. Okay, so Ken grew up attending the Lutheran one. I thought it was a Catholic church. So First memory of Kenneth Huerman began at Catholic Church. I'm getting two things. I'm getting Catholic Church, and I am getting he grew up going to the Lutheran church, but the girl claims she was assaulted at the Catholic Church. Is Lutheran and Catholic that interchangeable? I feel like that would be kind of a big deal to the Catholics. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he focused on little fucking nerdy boys, but maybe. He seemed to have the only straight sex offender priest on the planet. Let's see, Uncle did some faith jumping. Yeah. It is a big deal, right? Because I remember I had to go to Catholic school. They made a huge fucking deal about that. Yeah, so Kenneth the Uncle was into teen girls. Yeah, they're not interchangeable. So he did a little swap, a little wife swap there. He grew up going to a Lutheran church. It seems one of the victims was assaulted by him in a Catholic church. I seem to recall there being like a whole article on altar boys and the outfits or altar girls, and something about like the robes that he had to wear, and these girls that would come in, and I don't remember if it was CCD based or what, but they'd come in and they could describe the exact robe, and he was still wearing them on the day that he got an interview. I read all that shit, but I'm like, none of it really seemed to fit the whole narrative around Rex. And at the same time, we got to remember, Rex was fucking 4, you guys. I mean, Ken could have been all up in that pedo ring, but it doesn't change the fact that Rex was fucking 4. And he didn't live with his uncle. And it didn't look like he went to that church. And, a lot of people say, oh, he has an expansive I know a fuckload of families that do not speak to their outer family, the aunts, the uncles. I just don't really see. I mean, I don't see any connection to it, but I also don't see any reason to disregard it. It's just, I'm interested to find out more, but is it something that I think is worth pursuing so much as looking at missing women? Nah, I would put it on the back burner compared to like looking at missing female victims from Rex's time. It would be interesting to hear if there was a relationship between him and his uncle and what that was like. Anyway, let's keep watching the news.
I don't know that with that gunshots could be distinguished from fireworks.
But some say they're not surprised that the killer picked this spot on Hilltop Drive.
So on occasions, they've had people that come up here and they park their car down at the end of the block and they sit there quietly and have a beer or something like that. So I guess this would have been the ideal place if someone wanted to do something like this and then just walk away unnoticed.
Neighbors say now they'll keep a more watchful eye on their street. In Wheatley Heights, Petra Schaefer, News 12, Long Island.
Police say they have not yet recovered a murder weapon.
He was reportedly selling more than just flea market merchandise. The owner of a Massapequa flea market booth was arrested yesterday for allegedly selling illegal weapons. Police say when they arrested Peter Scan of Queens, they rounded up blackjack, swords, and metal knuckles.
If you find a suspicious-looking object, Nassau County Police say call them. Don't do what a 44-year-old Baldwin man did. He found a pipe bomb on the dock at Tony's Marina near his boat yesterday and brought it to the police station. Lucky for him, it didn't go off. The bomb squad disposed of it.
This holiday weekend wasn't exactly explosive on the roadways. Nassau County Police say there was nothing unusual about their statistics since Friday night, which show 41 DWI arrests in Nassau County. Suffolk County Police.
See, Jenny, I'm a little on the fence about that because I think that he could be responsible for Asian guy. But at the same time, I think that Burt could be responsible for Peaches. I don't think he is. I'm not saying for sure. I'm just saying could be, like a potential. And the reason is because Burke had a very specific type. After he jerked off in front of the Vietnam Memorial, though, that was post-prison. So it makes me wonder if that was a post-prison thing that he kind of changed up into. You know what I mean? Later on, he's like, no, I think I missed that prison dick. I don't know. Just saying. But he definitely had a type before that. And when you look at the description of the ladies he was bedding, It seems that he liked his coffee black, no cream, no sugar. So to me, I'm thinking he could possibly be maybe Peaches. I'd be interested to see if his DNA matches the baby. You know? Just a thought. But as far as the Asian guy, I think the whole Asian twink thing made people think it could be Rex. I'll agree. That's very intriguing. But then again, Burke's jerking off in front of the memorial, hitting on a dude. So it's like, I don't know. You could be onto something. Yeah, Peaches. And here's the thing, like, if it were Rex, I feel like they would have already been able to put Peaches in the mix for Rex, right? Maybe. But Burke, I mean, what if the entire reason Burke fucked up this investigation was because he just didn't want them to find one? You know? He didn't want them to find Peaches. It was also very different than the others. And then what if Rex did do Asian guy? Because good point, Holly Sawbones. Changed her name again. Asian guy was so close to the fourth. Exactly. So I wonder if Asian guy could be Rex and Peaches could be Burke. Yeah, that memorial shit was crazy. Yeah, if Burke was the dad, the internet would explode. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've always wondered if Peaches was Burke's, baby mama. She was having problems with her boyfriend. He was single. He really liked black chicks. He liked specifically, I know that the chick that he got busted with, I think she has a titty tattoo. Like a chest, not a chest piece, but you know what I mean? Right on top of her titty. And a couple of others. That he was said to be around. I think she was. Yeah, I believe she was a light-skinned black girl is what they said. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive. Yeah, and then, imagine Burke. This was before he was chief. He's trying to crawl up the ranks. He's constantly getting in trouble. This is before he was with his lady that he got busted with the, I think it was before. Might have been right around that time. The lady he was with was a madam. She pimped out predominantly African-American females and herself. She's a sex worker and she had tattoos and she was in and out of jail and she took his pistol, his work gun, took it with her to go get drugs in his cruiser. Gets busted, fucking him in the car. In his police cruiser. There's an investigation. Like, if Peaches was right after that or right before that, I could see him not wanting anyone to find out. If it was like 2 years, that would make total sense. If it was 2 years after that shit, I'm gonna look up the date. If it was, that would make sense because, he's coming down off of a hard, hey, here's a warning, quit giving your gun to Toots and, fucking him in the cruiser, dude. Quit it. And then imagine he knocks up a chick. His side piece, if you will. He likely didn't want the first chick to find out, who, by the way, he kept fucking for a while. For a long while. And she also has a kid who, in my opinion, looks like could have a blonde hair, blue-eyed daddy. Older lady. Just very interesting features. I'm not saying for sure, just interesting. That's all I'm saying. Imagine 2 years after that shit happens, he's trying to move up to the rank, what was it, sergeant or something? He can't unless he improves his performance. Imagine he knocks up a chick. She has the baby. He's scared she's going to talk or she's giving him problems. Boom, Peaches. And then it makes sense why he doesn't want to investigate anything. It's not about all the other women. It's just about Peaches. That makes sense to me. This is my craziest theory you'll ever hear me spew about the case. I think the Asian victim was a trans rage kill and Burke probably wouldn't have killed for that reason given his flu. Yeah, exactly. I think Rex would have done it just because he's fucking Rex. That's why I think Rex knew about Burke. I don't know. Part of me thinks that the cops didn't want anything to do with Rex. I don't know why. He just gives me that Kemper vibe. Like he really wanted to be a cop and they don't want to fuck with him at all. What if Burke picked up Asian dude thinking he was a girl? Yeah, but again, like Hudson pointed out, he seems pretty fluid. My question is, did he become fluid after jail, or has he always been fluid? Is that something that, I mean, I don't know. I've seen some jail documentaries where dudes talk about how like they were never like that, then they got out of jail and then they were. So I don't know. That's a complex discussion. So are we thinking Shrex and Jackoff Jimmy work separately together? I personally, my opinion, I don't know that they work together at all because he was also scared of the cops catching him, right? And also if we are afraid to, I mean, if we are, let's say that we do believe John Ray's witness statements like the cabbie and shit, right? Like, I feel like at that point, Rex could have gotten out of anything involving a cop. And it seems like he was really pissed off, freaked out. Like there would be not as much urgency if that were true. I don't know. There's a lot of behavioral things there. And I also feel like Rex, like, here's the thing. I feel like if Burke knew about Rex, he knew the existence of him, he could have pinned Peaches on him. You know, he could have pinned whatever it was that he was worried about on him. Like, why didn't he? It's weird. Dude, there's wild stuff. Yeah, there's a lot. That's the thing. I don't think his DNA is on file. I don't know that he ever had to give it for the investigation involving the beating. That was an IA investigation. I didn't see any warrants involving DNA. Also, I don't think he got a DWI. Yeah. Some type of reasoning for K the baby. Okay. Burke was fluid before jail. Do we know that for sure? Burke and Shrex did not work. Yeah, I don't think so either. I feel like Burke would have like fucking made fun. I feel like he was one of Rex's bullies, if anything. I don't think they worked together, just knew. I don't even think like, I feel like if Burke would have known about Rex, then he would have just pinned it all on him and would have been top investigator and taken his flowers, got his accolades. Like he would have fucking loved that opportunity. The Asian dude and Peaches are such outliers. Yeah, true. Why would you remove flesh with a tattoo and not completely obliterate the tattoo? That was stupid. Like carve it out? Maybe to keep it as a trophy like the Nazis. Remember they used to do that? Burke didn't know and didn't care. He was, yeah, I agree with you. I think he didn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. And I do think that he did something. Possibly to one, you know? And I think that he was willing to just literally throw this massive thing under the bus. So obviously, so he didn't get caught and go to jail. And look how that turned out. Interesting. Yeah, Burke didn't know anything here. Yeah, he had to make it unrecognizable. It's so wild, dude. Let's keep watching. Let's see what else.
Report 67 DWI arrests, checking on how those figures measure up to other years. Both counties reported the numbers of accidents for the weekend in the high 200s. And a Wantagh man was charged with boating while intoxicated when police officer towing water skiing equipment saw the man's boat ram into a pole marker in Goose Creek. Police arrested 30-year-old Bruce Burke.
A bill to protect Suffolk's pine barrens has been passed by both houses of the state legislature, but legislation to pay for that protection is tied up in red tape as lawmakers prepare to go home. Here's more now from News 12's Pattyanne Brown.
The Environmental Assistance Fund would set aside millions of dollars each year to be given to towns and counties across the state for specific environmental
Pattyanne.
For example, part of the money would help local governments buy open space deemed important to the environment. It's this portion of the fund that Long Islanders are counting on to buy land from developers in parts of the Pine Barrens now protected under the newly passed Pine Barrens bill.
We either have to buy their property or we have to transfer their right to build someplace else. For that, we're going to need about $60 million.
Towns could also tap into the fund to help pay for landfill closures and local recycling programs. Part of the fund would be set aside to help communities develop markets for the recyclable materials they collect. Another portion is for infrastructure projects like upgrades to sewage treatment plants that pollute the environment. But the legislature is caught up in debate on how to fund the fund. Governor Cuomo's original proposal was for a $270 million fund consisting of unclaimed bottle deposits, already existing soda can and beer taxes, a $5 tire fee, and proceeds from a conservation license.
Yeah, Pattyanne is a clone.
But the state Senate opposes the governor's plan. The proposal passed by the
You
Senate
guys, I'm
would
looking
take
up shit on on Ken, because I was like, this is odd. There were multiple Kenneth Hewermans who were Catholic priests, in addition to Lutheran priests, and multiple ones who fuck kids. This is wild. There's this Kenneth C, Kenneth J. There's multiple. Wow. Damn, dude. Ken is not who I thought he was. Not just a Barbie anymore. Now he's a creepy uncle. Raise your hands if you have odd sleeping habits. Hey, I do. I sleep awake and talking into a microphone. Yeah, she hasn't been identified yet. Although I did find some familial connections to her in Georgia that basically stated that their family doesn't believe in DNA. Like, it's not a cult. You guys get it. It's not a cult, but and anytime someone starts with that, it's like, oh shit, here we go. But it's a situation where they're very religious, and they believe that DNA tests are tools of the devil to bring shame upon their religion. It's not Quakers, but it's very close. It's Southern Quakerish. And the likelihood that they would take the DNA tests knowing that it could lead to a secret lug child that was murdered by a serial killer that would bring attention to them is something of a risk they don't want to take. And I don't believe that the FBI or anyone can really subpoena someone who hasn't committed a crime for their blood. So it's a very interesting situation, especially because they are religious. There are also religious clauses in the court system down south that could protect them, and likely did, from having to go through with this. Also, the people who would need to be DNA tested through, at least from what I see through the forensic genealogical connections, who it could possibly be. What's her name? Lily Mae Packer's family. That information, it's really something that would come down to someone related being willing to do that, and the ones who haven't done it yet. And then the ones who are alive, who they could get the quickest results for, like just explaining what's going on to them, the family said, or at least the person who's related to them stated, would be a nightmare. Like, they were like, you don't understand. To them, it's not about, we have to, find out who did. Like, they aren't even aware of lists. They're so far removed from that stuff. They're literally like an isolated small town area that does not, almost Amish, like they don't watch TV. It's a fucked up situation because, if they agree to do it, it could unveil that someone did some stuff that their religion doesn't allow. And this would bring shame, because that's how, a lot of religions see it. A lot of families, I don't know if you'd call it orthodox or what, but like really conservative families, conservative, not politically speaking, but religiously speaking, they tend to not really want that quote unquote shame. I mean, literally in the 80s, they had houses for unwed Catholic moms where they hid babies. Like, I don't think it's beyond the realm to say, a possibility to say, like, oh yeah, they don't want to fuck with this at all, because they don't, like, Uncle so-and-so doesn't want his wife to find out he had a fucking love child, And then add the serial killer on top of that. Oh, holy Christ. They don't want the attention. They don't want the smoke. That's what it looks like to me. And I did find not records. I found OSIN of people talking about this. Did some searching on my own. Discovered, wow, these people really are the cousins of exactly who they're looking for, and they openly discussed why they're not into that. Not that, like, they wanted to help, but they're like, the people who need to take those tests, fuck no, they won't. It's like, oh fuck. Yeah, it's almost like a Southern Mennonite. Extremely religious. Like, it's just nuts. It's just nutty. I really want to show you guys. Ooh, you were just reminded of something, Hudson? Okay, I'll check it in a moment. I was just reminded of a specific news story. Let's see if it's here. I do like to watch these, any of them with beach footage, and look for wrecks. I'm gonna let this play a bit more while I find something kind of cool that I'm gonna show you guys that maybe could help a little bit with some OSIN stuff.
But also for the help to the local municipalities for solid waste and erosion.
There's a chance that no environmental trust fund proposal will pass both houses of the legislature.
Pattyanne Brown has
Environmental
pockets.
trust fund bills have been defeated for the past several years.
Yo, am I fucking wigging out, or does she look different here too? What the fuck?
If it happens again, the fund would be dead until next session.
Quite literally, Shane.
If the legislature left Albany again.
Oh my god, we got that on camera. You guys, I said shame at the same time this guy, the same time Romalewski did. Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I the child Hugin?
For the
That was wild. That was a jinx.
Without bringing
Man,
up
this fucking nerd jinxed. Yes.
Financial assistance package for Long Island's environment. And
Listen, Hudson, I swear to God, I promise you kids, if I find a picture of Rex in a Speedo, you're going to fucking see it. Bet on that. Bet on that. Yes, he's fucking Polish just like me. Oh my God. I'm psychic, you guys. I'm just fucking, I'm a Polish psychic. Yeah, dude, Pattyanne is fucking anywhere and everywhere. It's fucking wild, Pattyanne.
New York State's environment.
Pattyanne Brown, News 12, Long Island.
We know, Patty.
Lawmakers are hoping to wrap up in Albany sometime Tuesday.
The state also is wrestling with rent control as a tenants group wants the governor to reject a weekend deal. The New York State Tenant and Neighborhood Coalition calls the bill unfair. The legislative agreement strips away rent protections on some apartments held by wealthy New Yorkers, and Governor Cuomo says he will likely sign the bill.
Okay, this is who you need to get mad at. Now we know who to blame. I'm not in New York. New York, this who you blame. Another fucking Cuomo fucks up again. I'm sorry.
Bill. And key state lawmakers are set to agree on another measure. This one would ban smoking on school grounds, restrict smoking in the workplace. It would also
1993 fucking sucked. That's when they fucked everything up. They were like, yo, it's 93. Fuck your rent. It's going up. Get rid of your ciggies.
also make bingo halls and bowling alleys set aside separate rooms for smokers.
Are you fucking kidding me right now, hon? If you can't smoke in a bingo hall or a bowling alley, then why are you fucking there?
The aim here is to curb exposure to secondhand smoke, which is said to be a cause of cancer in non-smokers.
Lies. No, I'm just kidding.
East End business owners are counting their
What if
profits
that's
tonight.
what if that's the conspiracy I fucking break my back on? What if that's where I choose to be the outlier? That's where I want to cause chaos. That's the conspiracy that I believe. What is it? What do you mean smoking causes cancer? That's absurd.
Following a busy holiday weekend.
Good morning,
As News
Bojangles.
12's Connie Conway reports this could be the best summer
Oh,
in
Jesus, me
years for
too.
East End merchants.
I'm like a slick white beluga whale.
It's music to merchants' ears.
Okay, for those of you in the chat who are under 30, this is called a receipt printer. Back in the day, you would take your credit card and you would put it on a piece of metal, and then you slide a giant block of metal over it, and then it pushes the paper down into imprint paper and makes this for you, and then you sign it with a credit card. Now, in this case, They had the fancy printing kind. Neat, huh?
Can be heard loud and clear this summer on the East End.
I know what fuck
Cash
it is.
registers
You
are
have to rise
full
up.
with tourist dollars.
Look at that cash
And
register.
For the first time in years, the sun gods appear to be shining on East End.
Did this bitch just say sun gods? Excuse me, the Hoogan wasn't at the beach this day, ma'am. You need to calm down. Where's Rex? Where's Rex? Where's his big fucking ass? Look for a 9'10" Shrek, please, on the beach. He's gonna be green as goose shit.
First time in
Is
years.
that an alligator looking at me? No.
The sun gods appear to be shining on
Bitch talking about this monotheistic. No, I'm just
East End business owners.
The weather has been great.
It should
which
be
is really the key
polytheistic. My bad.
to a resort area. We have not had bad stretch of weather, and if it holds out, I think it's going to be probably the best year in 4 or 5
Yeah, it's
years
totally
out here.
fine. Just keep,
The East
just keep
End
going.
is definitely the place to come to.
Is this fucking pot? No, it's Connie Con. Whoa. Okay. Find me a gay in the group. Where's a gay? Hudson? Hudson. What do you think of Connie? I feel it like she fucking rules. What do you think of that name, Hudson? What do you think of that name? This is a great name. I feel like this is such a good drag name. I love her so much. Look at that shirt. Connie Conway is my spirit animal.
To escape the oppressive heat.
No, no,
this
no.
weekend.
It is. It's safe.
But
It's
merchants
safe.
we spoke to
Sawbones.
say
It's
that
fine.
wasn't the only
Your
thing.
name is fucking Sawbones. You can smoke. That's like not knowing what a CD player is or a VHS rewinder. That's so hilarious. I cannot believe. Someone asked me what a juggalo is a while back, and I still think about it all the time. Reminds me of Connie Silica. Ooh, that sounds like a car. The Silica coming out in 94. Yeah, Connie pushing Pattyanne, pushing in on. I want to see her push her off a cliff. It'd be so funny if she just casually pushed her.
That was hot this weekend. Sales are up significantly higher over last year. So people not only spend
I'm
the weekend
significantly
here, they
higher than
spend
last
a
year.
lot
I'm
of
just-
money. East Hampton merchants reported 25% increase in sales.
One of the key
Oh,
indicators that we
shit.
watch for.
Yo, someone come get your paw. Someone come get your paw. What is this guy? Whew. I'm sorry. I need to be nice. Just what is going on here? This is very funny. Connie Lingus is very funny to me. Celiac, very funny. Oh my god, autocorrect, also very funny. No, it's all funny. Oh, you meant Connie Celiac? Yeah, Melly. Isn't this
For
guy?
last
Did you see
year.
that guy?
So people not only spent the weekend
Holy
here,
shit.
they spent a lot of
Connie.
money.
Connie,
East
babe,
Hampton
you rule.
merchants reported 25% increase in sales.
One of the key
Ah.
indicators that we watch for at the chamber is the number of shopping bags per person going down the block. And there was a lot of
Damn,
shopping
Kevin, look at
bags
that chest here,
weekend
Kev.
going up and
Popping it out of that
Sidewalks were nowhere
coral
near
shirt.
this full last
Look at
year.
badass.
And even tourist
Badass.
attractions couldn't lure visitors.
Dude, look for jerking off Burke in the background. Burke the jerk. Jerky Burke. The Burky boys. It's just bad cops prank calling people from jail. Holy fuck. Look at these outfits. That tucked in shirt with the white pleated khaki short. Where's Burke? Where is he in the I bet he's in the fucking shadows jerking it. Imagine seeing Jen McCabe in the bushes. Holy shit. By the way, Hudson, were you here earlier? Did you see Connie? Look at Connie Conway. What do you think? This is the aesthetic. This is what I want to craft on my channel. It's Connie Conway. Let's get back here. This is good shit.
I think the weather has everything to do with it. The sun's not out, the people aren't going to come out.
Tom
We got a lot of
Foglia.
day trippers.
Wait. Do you see, guys? Everyone stop what you're doing. Everyone stop what you're doing. Do you see why we do this? No, I'm not saying it's the Foglia I think it is. Well, Tommy Foglia. But do you guys recognize that last name? Do you? Do you recognize the name Foglia? Yeah, Core Guy's coming for your bags. Connie is tough on crime, lenient on fashion. Yes. Yes, dude. Connie will meet you for a drink, but she's getting coffee. Look, she doesn't drink at work. She does that on the weekends. She goes golfing. Jen McCabe is terrifying. I just realized I'm like 30 seconds behind or ahead of y'all. So I'm waiting for you to catch up. Do you guys recognize that guy's name? Tommy Foglia. What is that? Tom Foglia. What does that sound like to you? We're looking at a random 1993 Melba Tolliver, Bill Zimmerman. Let's be real. Connie's the star here, and Pattyanne's fucking trying to fucking inch every fucking bit of her worm body in there. But what we've got here is a display of a lot of whoopsie. This is weird. You guys remember? Let me bring this over here. So oddly, I'm like, let's see if we recognize anybody. It does sound familiar, doesn't it? Let me show you why. You kids fucking recognize this? Yeah, the fuck. Isn't that weird? Tita Foglia, possible link to Rex. He remember blah, blah. Okay. I don't know that for sure, though. I think he would have been too young. But remember she went missing in Brentwood? She was the one who was at Hammerheads and Islip. And then we're just watching the news. And what do we got here? What do we fucking got here? Let's pop this back up. I mean, I'm not saying we solved the case by any means. I'm just saying, like, is this Tina's dad? Is this Tina's cult leader dad? Is this her Diddy? Is this her older brother? She went missing in 82 at 19 years old. This guy could be her older brother.
Attractions couldn't lure visitors here because the weather was so lousy.
I think the weather has everything to do with it.
Look at that. Restaurant owner. This could be her brother. Huh. He would have been 18 at the time of Tina Foglia. Interesting. I wonder if Tom Foglia is related to Tina. I'm going to make a note of this. It's very interesting.
Sun's not out, the people aren't going to come out. We get a lot of day trippers, and then depends on the weather.
Spending habits, though, vary almost as much as the number of places tourists are coming from. What may seem expensive to some doesn't to
We're just
others.
watching news.
I think that I've
World
noticed
news.
more, and I hear that from my guests also this weekend when we look at a lot of the prices, we
Happy.
find that they're extraordinarily high. And so things that might be attractive, we're just sort of saying, yes, they're really very nice, but we're walking away from.
Not compared to New York City. It depends on where you're from, really, if this is expensive.
Merchants here,
Rena
hope that kind of
Levine, that's a
attitude
good
means
name.
that at the end of this summer, they can finally bring home the bacon. In East Hampton, Connie Conway, News 12, Long Island.
Well, the weather was good, and when we continue on the night edition, meteorologist Norm DeVoskin will be along to tell us what we can look for as we go back to work.
Well, the great weather we had over the weekend will continue as high pressure builds over the area, but it's the worst kind of great weather because you have to go back to work. Stay with us. I'll be right back with my full forecast. Melba, Bill?
And Norm, also ahead, yesterday the blimp fell from the sky. Today, authorities are trying to figure out why.
Also, a Brookhaven business that takes your words and puts them in the air. In a moment.
Free Willy.
News 12
Wow,
Long Island.
I remember that.
24 hours every day.
When stress
Good
takes its
morning.
toll, wouldn't it be great to have your very own
This
personal
today,
masseuse to
Amy.
soothe and relieve tension? Therafax
Wonder if
presents the
that's like a
Pro
cousin or
Shot
something.
Personal Massager. Unlike vibrating massager.
So what made a blimp tumble from the sky?
Wait, was that a vibrating
Personal masseuse to
massager?
soothe and
First of all, what are they doing at work? Hold on.
When stress takes its toll,
What is this
wouldn't
bitch
it be
doing at
great
work?
to have your very own
Yo, you're fucking at work right now, Helen? Is this your fucking computer, Helen? Is this your fucking computer? This is an old computer, Helen. Also, why are you letting someone touch you like that at work, Helen? Stop it before what they call HR. Yeah, sawbones. Adam, you missed a lot. I do think they killed that whale. Adam. Back when sexual battery was fine at work. Yeah, it's totally cool. Look at them. Look at her, just having a time.
To soothe and relieve tension. Fairfax
Sawbones, see you.
Shatsu personal massager.
Oh my god.
Vibrating. So what made
where was she putting that? I'm sorry, you guys. What the fuck?
unlike vibrating.
So what made
Jesus.
a blimp tumble from the sky? It went down yesterday as thousands of New Yorkers looked on. The Pizza Hut airship crash landed
Oh shit!
on
Pizza
top
Hut.
of a West Side apartment building.
The
Its
Noid
command
is at
crew
it
were not
again.
seriously injured. The deflated ship is now at a federal facility where it will be examined. It is believed a structural problem is to blame.
Oh,
Well, it certainly was
you don't
not
think-
a banner day for those blimp pilots, but for Brookhaven
Simpler
business, that
times.
expression, a banner day, is taken literally. News 12's Hillary Strauss
Oh my
explains.
god, he does get to read the real
It's a
news
scene
stories.
you know all too well.
Well, this is where
You're
Rex
lying on the
worked.
beach.
Hold up. Remember Rex works here? Right before this. Beach footage. You guys are about to see a beach whale.
Hear the roar of an engine when all of a sudden you look up at a banner advertisement on a
too.
plane. Did you ever
I
wonder
miss
where it came
LimeWire.
from? Oftentimes from here. Island aerial ads at Brookhaven Airport. With 6 planes flying 50 banners per day, high above 1.5 million.
Yeah, he worked at Jones Beach.
You can
No,
imagine.
first of all, Hudson, that's hilarious. I get it now. What you're saying. I didn't mean it like that, fucker. You know what? Go to your room. You're grounded, Hudson. First of all, he did work at Jones Beach, like literally before he started working as an architect. Okay, so frig off with that. Second of all, oh my god.
These guys are pretty
can't.
busy.
The sign is laid out on the ground with a
Oh, Adam Sandler. What's going on here?
4-foot rope. It's set up between 2 poles.
He looks like a King of the Hill character. Is this fucking Boomhauer? What's going on? Okay.
Fly by with a grappling hook at 80 miles an hour and pick the sign up.
Yeah. I'm fucking dying
Banners
too. I can't
advertise
believe
everything from champagne to movies to local news.
And as you might imagine, some of the banner requests are on.
Who is
well,
this
the
bitch?
strange side.
Hillary Strauss. Where
Rex
did you
one
come
time
from?
his husband noticed she
Don't
was
we have enough?
having a baby through the banner. She wrote a sign said, "Frank, the rabbits died."
Holly, did you sit at home and jam it in between your legs like that one lady was doing?
When the weather is bad.
Yeah, I did.
In that
Did.
situation, they use what's called the garbage can rule.
They kamikazed
There
at
are
the
more
fucking
garbage
beach.
cans on the beach than beachgoers. than
Yeah,
the
he looks
banner
like Dale
waist to
Gribble or
fly.
maybe
In Brookhaven, Hillary Strauss, News 12, Long Island.
Boomhauer a little bit.
Well, they look tough, but they've got heart. Hundreds of motorcycle riders toured the streets of Suffolk's North Shore to promote racial unity. The 25-mile trip was called the Ride the Rainbow Tour. The bikers made an open invitation
Promoting
to all
racial
colors and all
unity.
ethnic groups to join the ride. They stopped at the
So far,
Roxy
it's all white
Music
people?
Hall to talk, eat, and check out the other bikes.
Still all white
The
people?
beautiful thing is that we're raising
A white-
money
this
for
a white
different
guy?
benefits, and we're paying our money to
I
come
mean,
and have
is
fun,
that a
have good
skull
time, and go
cap?
for a ride.
Like literally?
Suffolk's
That rules.
finest is here, escorting us the whole entire way. And
Okay.
it's great to be part of
So the
Peace
racial
Society.
unity bike rally
The
has
tour was
all white
sponsored
people.
by New Horizon Insurance in Smithtown.
Very
Well, it
Northport
was a great day for
dance
bike
kinetics
riding,
of you,
and
Suffolk.
It was a really nice day, but it was hot. You know, I was out in the middle of the day and I was talking to a mad dog. And
Oh, wait, so he was there and she wasn't there at the
Yes,
racial
it's really
diversity
hot
day?
out there.
Okay.
Temperatures
Okay.
getting close to 90
Whatever.
degrees in many places
All
across
right.
Long Island.
I know
And we
my
have
place.
a report from many of the observers
Not
around
gonna
the
question
island,
it.
including some airports. Kim Hicks had a high of 80 degrees. That's warm for Montauk.
We'll talk shit about Kim.
So it was quite warm across the island. Helen Proud, Oregon, 84 degrees.
Helen
West Hampton
Proud-
Airport,
wait.
82. Dick Simmons and Centeridge had
First of all, what is going on here? What is he talking about? Who's Dick Simmons? Who the fuck is Helen Proud? Who the fuck is, what did he say, Kim Hicks? Why is he talking shit about these people? Is this an age or is he doing the weather? I'm so confused. What the fuck is he doing here?
at an 87 for a high Islip Airport, 83. The normal high is 80 degrees, so you can see we're quite a bit above normal in most
Or is it
places.
Daryl
Gary
Islip?
Stone, a high of 89
Gary
at
Stone? What the
Centerport,
fuck is that?
83 for Walter Dibbins in Massapequa. Thank you,
Walter
observers. That
Dibbins?
was
Who
quite
is
a
that?
report and a very hot day.
Who's
We have
giving us
high pressure
names?
across the East
Is that where
Coast,
they live?
and that is keeping that storm system sitting along the Mississippi
Weather
River
is
with heavy
complicated.
thunderstorms out to the west. It will not buck this really big high pressure system that is sitting right along the coast. There's a little warm front that will move across.
This guy
sometime
looks like he's
tomorrow.
about to
No
fucking
precipitation, no clouds, just a
sell me a
shifting wind bringing in some
timeshare.
southerly winds across the region for Wednesday and the
Like
rest of the
steal
work
my
week.
grandma's
And
ashes.
with
I
some
don't know about
increasing
this dude.
humidity coming out of the Gulf of Mexico as high
Hmm.
pressure will be in control, and that is called a Bermuda high, and that occurs in the summertime. So we'll have some hot and humid conditions across the region. There are the showers way out to the
Yeah.
west associated with that front, bringing rain to areas that do
Dick
not
Simmons.
do not need any more rain.
Is he just
That is
joshing on a
very
guy he works
unfortunate.
with?
Right
I'm
in
so
our area
confused.
right now, we have high pressure.
Yeah, is he
with
talking
blue
about Dick's
skies,
home?
just beautiful as we have this clear skies
Oh,
all
your
across the
home.
northeast. So for overnight, clear skies, temperatures 64 to 69 degrees.
Who's
If you're
Kim?
headed to the beach on Tuesday, really looks good. If you take into
Wait,
account
there is a
temperature,
city called
wind
Dick
and cloud
Simmons?
cover, a 10 on a scale of 10. You couldn't ask for a nicer
Well,
day
that
to go
sounds
to
like
the
a
beach. For the
catfish.
Mariners, winds on the waters will be out of the
We'll
south-southeast
sell
at
me a
7 to
timeshare
14
and then send
knots.
you home with a free
Seas
mini
less
black and white
firm on the
TV. Yeah.
sound, 2 to 3 on the ocean.
He's
Visibility
gonna
good,
tell me
except
about
for a
some
little
mood
haze.
sounds
Water temperature 68
that I
degrees.
can
And
get for
later in the
penny a
news, I'll be
CD at
telling you about the
Publishers
work week.
Clearinghouse.
Stay with us. Melbourne.
Oh shit!
What's left?
What is this?
Chemical Bank MasterCard. If you have one, use it. If not, call 1-800.
Oh, I guess we're back to Goldberg. Okay, what did we learn? We learned that the news is fun. We learned that Dad's about to pass out, starting to get tired. I need another dad nap. We learned that Dick Simmons is a man who lives somewhere in Long Island, and that guy knows him, and he knows the weather at Dick's house. We know that Connie is an attention hog, and she should be, because Connie has the best fit and the best shoulder pads. We know that old Pattyanne, I mean, you can't fucking wag your tail without her being there trying to hump you. Fucking Pattyanne, get off my dick. She's in every story. She's gonna make fetch happen. Pattyanne will never give up. We got a guy dressed as a sweaty timeshare operator telling us about the weather. Makes me sad for Long Island, frankly. You guys don't have a Steve Brown saved your dog like San Antonio, but it's fine. These temperatures do have me longing for fall. And also they have me longing for a sedative. I wish I was not allergic to pills. I would take as many as possible right now, because what the fuck was that? Dick Simmons? I just want the weather, man. I just want the weather from 1993. Is that too much to fucking ask? What if I got belligerent over that? Is he in prison? Or was he in prison doing the weather? Because that makes sense now. The Catchy commercial? Oh, fuck, I already deleted it. I already came out. I stepped out of the portal, dude. Can't go back. Can't go back now. For fun in the 80s, my parents would go watch sales pitches for weird gadgets. Yep. In the early 2000s, a lot of us made the mistake of getting involved in Cutco. I totally understand that mentality. Richard, Dick Simmons, dude. But he said Dick. He didn't say Richard. He said Dick. I don't know. You're laughing? I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. I learned one news anchor is the same as the next. I mean, really, I feel like that guy is every male news. Yeah. He is a watered down Ron Burgundy. I just want one crazy guy in a banana yellow suit screaming at me. We got to get that for you, New York. It's unfair that you don't have that. Kind of want to go out on a blast. Your sister used to sell Cutco. God bless her. Bless her heart, dude. And I mean that in a respectful and nurturing way. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we end this channel right now and this cult is over. What if that shit sent me into a darkness, like a really dark spot? Because like, can't figure out how Pattyanne is everywhere at once, but not here right now. What the fuck, Pattyanne? I do want to see if what's a good let's I'm not a cat either. Ooh, there you go. Guys, what if we did something really fucking crazy? What if we, you know, what if we just fucking took a risk?
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're
a look.
trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this.